Oh Lord, I'm on a permanent holiday. I'm going outside to play. I ain't gonna slave away. Not for no corporate Babylon.
So are we recording?
We're going.
All right.
That's
sweet.
it.
Nice. Well, cheers, bro. Thanks for having me.
Took a while,
Yeah.
but we made it.
Yeah.
Shit, bro, it's been over a month now. We've been trying to do this.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we finally made it happen because I got to get back to it.
I hear you. Yeah.
Plus, oh shit, I didn't even check my hair or nothing. Seriously, is my hair okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Am I all weird?
No, it's fine. I mean,
all right.
Does mine look good?
Yeah, but you actually did yours.
Well,
I've been running around today,
yeah,
cleaning up shit.
as long as I look like Ellen DeGeneres, that's the look that I was going for.
What the fuck, bro? I didn't ever think I would ever hear anyone say that they're going for that look.
Yeah, I just tell my barber to give me the Ellen. Then I yell at my staff.
You have a staff like Gandalf and you yell at it?
Exactly. Yeah.
You fucking staff!
Can I spark up?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Go for it. Snoop Dogg it up.
See you later. If you don't mind. Sweet.
But yeah, they were just saying the other day how Snoop Dogg is the one guy that's exempt from the law. Have you seen that one? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's real. Where they're at a game or at a concert, and Snoop's standing next to a cop and lighting and smoking his joint or blunt.
Really?
And he passes it to the cop.
That's fucking hilarious.
And the cop actually hits it. I don't know if it's real or not, but I think it is.
If it was California, I think you're allowed to smoke and be a cop. I think. At least
federally it's...
Well, I know
illegal.
federally you can't, yeah, but...
And cops are... I guess
you're a state employee.
But
yeah.
that's still a federal thing.
I
know they're state employees, but
yeah,
I don't think there's any cop that's allowed to.
I mean,
I don't think so.
If we had time to look it up,
yeah, look it up.
No, that's too much.
You can look it up.
It takes too much effort. But this is my first podcast, so I'm kind of excited to
sure, it won't be the last.
Yeah. I was gonna do one with my boy on To Catch a Predator, because we're big To Catch a Predator fan. Yeah, like T-Cat. That's my shirt. If you haven't noticed, my friend Chris designed this. So I'm a big wrestling fan and To Catch a Predator fan, and this is kind of a combination of both. And this is one of the guys called Lauren Armstrong, who has a big... The look on your face is fucking great. The look on your face is the exact look that everyone gives me when I go into detail about To Catch a Predator and this fandom and this subculture that's a part of it. And I didn't think within the first 3 minutes of our podcast we were going to start talking about To Catch a Predator.
You could grab that ashtray.
Yeah. But, let me say the letter again. Oh, never mind. So this is a dude who was caught in the very last sting in the Kentucky 7, which was the very last To Catch a Predator sting. Lauren Armstrong, he has this following where he was basically getting catfished post the show. Like he went to jail, came out, and he was still getting catfished by women who were pretending to be other people, and then also dudes. And this is his brother Roy. So Roy is also a part of the universe of Lornography is the term, and the Church of Called. And so the reason why they call it the Church of Called is because your racial expression's so great. The reason why they call it the Church of Called is because in the Sting, when Chris Hansen's like, well, I got something to say. I'm Chris Hansen with MSNBC, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, called. And it's a thick Maine accent, and it's supposed to be him saying oh, God. But it comes out as called, so they do the Church of Called, and then Lornography, and then the reading of the Lornography is his chat log, and it's a whole fucking thing. So, but anyway, to sum it up, this is supposed to be Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, who are wrestlers, and they were the outsiders. They went from Diesel and Razor Ramon. They left WWE.
Yeah, I remember Kevin Nash, and then who else?
Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Yes, Toothpick, Chico. Yeah. So they went to WCW. They became.
I love those guys.
Yeah, they became the NWO with Hulk Hogan.
That's right.
Yep. And this is So Lauren,
World order.
exactly. So Lauren would piss outside of his trailer, the trailer of failure, and so like I did it as piss outsiders, and then I had my boy knock it up, and this is his art and his yeah, it's a whole thing.
So you guys made this shirt.
Well, he made it, and he's also a huge lornographer and like into it, and he's like he does artwork and stuff, and he actually said that he would do one of your, if you need any kind of artwork for the podcast or whatever. Okay. Because I told him, and his stuff's really good
I'll
too.
Take any
actually.
artwork, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we're a bunch of weirdos. If you haven't noticed, we're one of those weirdos. That's a Chris Hansen line.
Aren't we all though?
I guess, yeah, to an extent. But yeah, so I mean, I guess the theme of your podcast is the restaurant industry. I'm assuming, right? Or like
service, really.
Okay.
Like if you're in the service industry, I want to have you on here.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if it's like folding linens in the hotel or folding linens. Yeah, okay. I mean those are service people too. Yeah, they provide a service. Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah, you got to. But yeah, are you not too much of a toker these days? I'm assuming.
Like one hit.
Really?
Yeah,
like you
I don't want to blaze down because I'm trying to do this. And
yeah, just be sitting there like.
If I fucking smoke a whole blunt right now, I'll be.
Well, I drank a whole energy drink, so that's why I'm like kind of.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember Mad TV?
Yeah.
The dude.
I love Mad TV.
Phil Lamar, who did the UPS dude, who would all be like erratic. That's how I feel right now. I'm like, like Phil Lamar from Mad TV.
I can't believe you know that shit, bro.
Yeah, I grew up in the '90s.
What about Sonny? Remember Sonny and his mom?
Was that the dude with
Eat the meat, Sonny.
I was thinking of
sticks his hand down the meat grinder.
That and what was it? Miss Kwan. It was like the Asian lady.
I'll tell you everything.
Yes. And lowered expectations. Lowered expectations. Yeah. That was the shit, man. I love that. That and then Living Color. That was
the 90s. Living Color was like so ahead of its time, dude. Mm-hmm. Fucking Trash Man with fucking.
Who was that? Was that
Jim Carrey?
Jim
bro.
Carrey? Okay, yeah.
He was all like wild and shit.
I remember that, and Fire Marshal Bill was his big thing. I remember kind of being a huge Jim Carrey fan in the 90s. Oh, yeah. The Mask.
You ever seen his stand-ups, dude? He's got some fucking impressions that'll like blow your mind.
Really?
Like his Clint Eastwood.
I've seen that. Yes.
Like
yeah, he does like the weird facial like jaw. Yeah, yes, I have seen that. Yeah. That's funny. Mm-hmm. So how long have you been in the industry?
Oh shit.
Because you did both back of house and front of house, and now you're.
I started off front of house.
Okay.
I can't take that shit,
man. Really?
It takes some fucking patience. I mean.
Yeah.
So like food truck, you kind of both. Cause, like you're just there, but like it's a way different thing. I just can't take that, like those customers where it's like you just go above and beyond. They're just assholes through and through. Like they just do not want to be kind.
Yeah. And there's definitely people
fuck
who
that shit. Like I give props to servers. They got my respect, dude. Like it takes.
Yeah, especially serving. I feel like
patient people.
Yeah.
To deal with those, but. That being said, like, you do a good job, you're going to see those people very seldom.
Yeah.
But they're still going to be there.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I can't deal with that.
I think also, I don't want to say demographic, but location plays an effect in that too. Like sometimes working at Edway, I experience it just from, it's not all the time, but I get it a lot of times from like old heads that are like really old and just miserable. And it's not all old people, obviously, and it's not all just like one demographic or whatever. Yeah. But like, you're wherever you are, you're gonna find assholes. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter, But I feel like if you're somewhere where there's a lot of shitty people who are just miserable, that's gonna come out on. And then they're not gonna tip on top of that and like be demanding exactly. Yep. Yeah, that happens. I mean, I even just bartending, like I feel like I've definitely went above and beyond and like provided a good experience and all that, and like whatever it may be, letting people try stuff or like being knowledgeable about the beer, like specifically with like working in beer, and then like they'll go out of their way to not tip or tip 10%, you know. And I hate to be like, oh, it's 20%, it's expected, but it's kind of like, you know, that's like kind of standard, you know. And like I'm not one of those people that are necessarily like, oh, don't go out if you can't tip, but like I personally am not going to go out if I can't tip.
Well, I mean, you got the reverse of that too, right? Where it's like you provide, you know, the service that you do and try to do your best and go above and beyond, like what we just said, all of that. And there will be like the nicest people to you. Smile and compliments. Oh, you're doing such a great job. Zero.
Yeah.
Nothing. They leave you nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you live here, motherfucker. It doesn't like there's no fucking way you don't know that you got a tip.
Yes, exactly. But I say this a lot too, and I've talked to customers about this. I feel like tip culture has went overboard, and I feel like there's a blunt shop that I go get blunts from occasionally, and there's a tip option, and like why is it now that like every little job that might be a service, some sort of customer service interaction job is like not demanding, but expecting or offering the option for a tip. And I just think that bartenders, servers, people in the industry are probably the only people culturally and should be tipped, honestly. Like I'm not tipping, you know.
Well, I mean, there's like door people as well.
Yeah, but I also
you know I mean?
Consider
like,
them.
That's like a got a tip.
Yeah, but and or like valet or and that's expected. But like for you to be like, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of like the culture of tipping because it's a face to face kind of people interaction thing.
No,
and I'm gonna pay you less than minimum wage or minimum wage, whatever, and then be like plus tips. Like here, I don't understand living in Seattle, at least King County, like how the back of house is like tipped out as well, which is not a thing in Maryland. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if it's all of the East Coast or like maybe I think it's all majority of the West Coast.
I think it's all over the East Coast. I never saw that until it came this way.
Yeah.
And then like once I hit Colorado, it's a thing over there too. But then once I came out here, it's like even more of a thing.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's kind of like I worked for a place in Queen Anne for a little bit.
I like that though. Like I think that should be a thing nationwide, worldwide.
I agree, but also like what I'm saying, like my experience with that is like I worked at this spot. The line cooks were also prepping mid like shift. Like there wouldn't be like, hey, we have like a time for prep before we open or whatever. You know what I mean? Or like the first hour or something. It's like you're prepping throughout the shift and working. So you're doing like 3 different jobs for minimum wage. And then it's like, hey, the community is expected to compensate the difference of living wage. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's fair. I think you should pay your cooks.
That's more of like a location to location, restaurant to restaurant type of deal. And in the proper restaurant, that kind of shit is expected for everyone working kitchen. Oh yeah, if you're working kitchen, when downtime, you're fucking doing prep.
With definitely, and I agree with that. But I just feel like that's a little bit different because I feel like that's either downtime or that's either time that's set aside to do prep, opposed to
I'm talking about like during service.
Oh really?
Like you got no tickets or like you got one ticket. So like then you continue prep.
Sure, okay, then I get that.
You got that little prep on the side right there. Now we're talking about Friday, Saturday. You're not gonna have that time,
right?
Right. So like,
or if they're busy all the time,
service gets going, you wrap that shit up, you stick it in the walk-in.
Yeah,
but
which makes that's
all
makes
other days.
Sense.
That should be a thing. It's like it's stressful, but that's the job. Like
well,
you gotta do it.
I feel like I've seen it more here.
You want it like maximized
efficiency.
Yeah,
which that makes complete sense, and I understand that completely. But it just feels like when you're an owner and you live in Queen Anne and you're driving a fucking $150,000 car, and then you're paying your employees minimum wage and expecting the community to compensate for, because minimum wage is not a livable fucking wage, especially for like the work that you're doing in the back of house, sweating your ass off.
Any state has a minimum wage that's livable.
You're right, because federal minimum wage is still $7.25. When I first started working, when I was fucking 17, it was $7.25, and almost 20 years later, it's still $7.25. You know,
it's nuts,
insane. Yeah, but I have noticed that a lot of places here, because the minimum wage is so much higher, that they do expect you to be doing multiple. Like when I worked at that like deli downtown, you didn't just work at the counter. You did like prep, counter, dish, you know, everything basically. They even kind of want you to work the line, which
but like over there, you have what, 5 employees working at maximum?
4, yeah.
So it's just that many of you.
That's
you
true.
Gotta do it.
Yeah. I mean, but I guess you don't realize the cost of overhead and like everything, you know, like you don't really think about that as like,
it's crazy, dude. You know, it's fucking not easy shit to do.
No, but if you run a good ship and you pay your employees well and the morale is high, people want to come to work, you know, like, you know, they want to,
I want to go to work
support
every
it.
time. I love it. But
exactly.
Also, I'm doing what I love, like, and it's bullshit. Like, I used to agree with it, but I don't really agree with the statement that, oh, when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That's bullshit. Yeah. You're always working. Yeah. You just enjoy it, but yeah. It can feel like that sometimes if you're really like into it, and I've had plenty of those times, but that's fucking work, dude.
Yeah, well, especially back of house. Like, I mean, front of house too.
Front
I feel
house
like
too, man. You got all this side work, like you're dealing with those people.
Yeah.
But what makes it worth it is the people that genuinely thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And then show their appreciation.
Yeah.
With tipping you what you deserve.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's how I do it. If I go out, your service is shitty, food is fucking awesome, I'll still tip okay.
Same.
Food is shitty, service is fucking shitty.
Yeah, I'm debating. I might leave something. Yeah,
but that's just because I'm in the industry.
Yes.
I think. Like,
yeah, but also, do you think that's? Well, I feel like it's a vicious circle. It's just like,
can you flip the switch there? This one right here, the off and on switch.
It's off.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah.
Off.
Yeah. And then now on. When you hear that shutter, that's what I'm going to ask you to do.
All right, perfect. Sweet. But I feel like I don't want to say that's like enabling behavior for a bad service. You know, but I don't know. I like, where do you draw the line of like, because you can tell like a server, hey, the food sucks, and then they're like, well, I can only work with the tools that I'm giving. But if you give criticism on their service, but then also tip, like, I don't know, you get what I'm saying? Like, is there a way to tell somebody like, hey, like, okay, if you tip something, you're still like enabling bad behavior? Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah, what I mean that comes down to, I think, also the restaurant.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
A lot of restaurants will have like a feedback thing at the end of your shift or at the end of your meal.
Yeah,
your experience. Like, you can have like a comment card as an option. Like, you want to leave us some feedback, and I think that's how you perfect the restaurant. It's just you listen to the people.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, people.
You gotta listen to the input and improve what's the problem.
Yeah. Well, people vote with their feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they just, a lot of people. Sure, that you have people that will like.
What do you mean people vote with their feet?
Meaning, like, okay, sure, there are people who might leave a Yelp review or a Google review or some sort of review or feedback, but then there's people who just might not go back. You get what I'm saying? Like, somebody like me, I'm not going to go out of my way and leave a fucking review. I'm just not going to fucking go back. Yeah. But I'm also going to tell people if they ask or if I just happen to, like, bring it up that, like, oh, I had a shitty experience, or, like, oh, the food was garbage, or, like, it took forever. You know what I'm saying? And, like,
well, I think that's not the way to go, man. You got to start... Like, sometimes I'll even, if the manager or owner is there, like, I'll even pull them aside and be like, hey, like, I'm in the industry and this is what happened during my experience.
Yeah.
And then, you know, whether they take that and choose to improve with
that's
it.
True, yeah.
But you gotta let the place know that, hey, this was my experience, and I will come back if this improves.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why you gotta give places another shot.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it might have been they're having a bad day.
Yeah,
it might have been just that person.
That's true.
They gotta go or improve.
Yeah, that's true.
So
if
you
they're
gotta give places a second shot.
If they're willing to listen, if it's just
But like I'm saying, like sometimes it might have been that person or the person that was cooking that day, their uncle died or whatever.
Right.
They're going through,
I
know what I mean? Like things happen.
Of course.
So like,
of course. And I feel like I can't always expect people to, especially front of house when you're dealing directly with a person. If we're talking about like food, it's a little bit different. But like dealing directly with a customer, I feel like you have to leave all that at the door. You know what I'm saying? And like if you're not able to, like an ex-girlfriend of mine who also worked in the industry said that like bartending was almost like you're on stage.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like if you can't perform, then you don't. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna like people notice that. Like okay, there's a place that I'm not gonna name that's near where you work. And, one of the like great selection of what they have, but the service is apparently very unfriendly. You know what I mean? And it's like if you
can name places.
I mean, I didn't want to. I didn't want to bury them.
But no, I get it.
But they,
dude, trust me, like we're not that big.
I know, but still, but still,
it could be a helpful thing for them. Too.
Yeah. Okay, it's Bridget's, but but the service sucks, and it seems not all of it, but it seems like you're an inconvenience coming there, and when you reflect that to customers. Like, sure, you might have a great beer selection, you might have great food, but if you constantly feel like, it's just weird. You feel weird after the experience, or you're like feel like you're walking on eggshells talking to a bartender or server. Like, that's not a good experience. And you don't have to be fake and phony and be like, oh hi, I'm so happy to serve you. Right. But you have to it has to seem genuine, and you have to at least make it look like you're not miserable at work, and like. Because then it's like people also think
that
like
you want to be there.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. And like that's the big thing. Like I went on this road trip in 2022, and I was like pretty much living on the road for like 4 months. And like I do remember going to like certain breweries and places, but one specific one that I remember that was in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I forgot the name of the brewery, but the experience, like talking to the bartender, you know what I'm saying, talking about the beer, talking about being in the industry, talking about like fishing and smoking weed, and I like had some of the Namaste Joe beers, which I should have brought, which I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna mention to bring your stickers too, dude.
Yeah, I didn't think we were still gonna, because I remember you were like, all right, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to bring something that might be like.
I kind of drink.
Okay, all right. Well, now I know for the next time.
Probably should have mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, but So, like, I remember, like, sharing some of my beer with them and, like, talking and stuff like that.
I mean, to be honest, I was contemplating, like, okay, I should probably stay good and still not drink.
Sure.
But then, like, I don't know, it kind of relaxes me.
Exactly, yeah. And I kind of wanted to, obviously. Yeah. Just the same thing, kind of loosen up and whatnot. But,
I wish I could get them to stop doing that shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so like it's the experience that I like remember. The food was like good, the beer was good from what I remember, but like just that interaction. So I feel like when you create that experience with people, like they appreciate it on like a conscious level, but almost like subconsciously too. Because like if you go anywhere, gas station, wherever,
if you have that comfortable feeling,
yes,
then
exactly.
That's like the subconscious of like. Chill,
yes.
feel good,
feel the ambiance. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I think all of that, a lot of times, first impression, like how you greet people, is another thing. And as long as like, you don't have to fucking run to the door and suck somebody's dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like greeting somebody and making them feel seen, especially at a busy bar. And like if you're slammed, it's understandable. Like I don't expect somebody to like completely go out of their way. Or I don't necessarily, as a bartender, it's like sometimes hard to if you're slammed, like, a whole bar full of people, basically. but just acknowledging people so that they feel seen and heard, and like then they're like, oh, okay, we can be seated or we're waiting or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've had experiences where like back in Baltimore, like my cousin and I one time we're going to watch a Ravens game at Jimmy's Seafood in Dundalk, of course, and we just like, I mean, maybe we didn't make ourselves seen or whatever, but like there was some people behind the bar and there were servers. We sat at a table and we sat there for like 20 minutes waiting, and we're just never like even like said anything too.
Not acknowledged. You know?
Exactly.
Dude,
yes.
That's happened to me.
Yeah. So we just dipped,
and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly. So we just dipped and went somewhere else, and like, you know, I get it. Sometimes you're just fucking slam busy. And it's gonna happen.
I don't care how busy everyone is. Someone sees those people coming in.
Exactly.
Like you gotta at least be like, oh, hey guys, we'll try to get to you like real quick.
Exactly.
You know, like,
agreed, or some sort of acknowledgement.
But no, also going back to your like what you were saying about taking advantage of like the tipping culture. I see that here more than anywhere, and I haven't been on the East Coast in a while, so like. I don't really know. I don't know when the last time you were there where you like got to experience like restaurant going out, but like carry out places, and they have like everything is automatic now. So most part, you don't usually get like the printed. You know, when you're doing a carry out, you don't usually get the printed
right. You just
receipt.
Go and snag it. Yeah.
It's just on the screen.
Yeah,
and I'm carrying out this food. Like, I don't need this fucking screen in front of me with tip options. You expecting, like, a tip on a carry-out?
Yeah. Well, even if you order off, like...
that's different with, like, food trucks. Because food trucks is its own thing.
Sure, yeah.
Now, I don't care whether you're carrying out or eating right there. You should be tipping. You know what I mean?
For sure, yeah.
But like I'm carrying out like you're going for carry out food like you want a tip for that?
Yeah. I mean I don't really expect it at all on like to go beer either. You know what I mean? So like I mean I might tip $1 or something, and it is nice when like
at a tap house that's also different.
Sure, I agree with that, but at the same time like I feel like.
But like carry out beer, okay, I get it.
Yeah, you know, it is nice when people do, and like if you got the money and you got the bread, you know what I mean, and like maybe you like the bartender, that's a different story.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I think the experience at places is like the biggest part, and one of my favorite places I've ever worked for was Full Tilt Brewing, which is closed now. It was back in Baltimore, and I bartended there and like helped brew and worked on the canning line.
You wear that shirt all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the sticker was from, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Joe's Jam. So I.
Dude, you didn't bring one of those stickers.
I know. I ran out of them. I put them all over. I put them all over Seattle. I gave some to my girlfriend to put in around Maryland. I'll order more. I just get them off Sticker Mule.
Okay.
I
got still got like the same setup already preset.
Yes, yeah. So I got the original design. Our boy Art Nail, that's his Instagram. He would do the art for us. And I wish I'd have brought one of the fucking cans. But yeah. So like,
it's all good, man.
Next time, exactly.
Let's do another one.
Yeah,
bring him next time.
1000%. But yeah. So
hopefully by then I'll have this fucking camera shit figured out.
So I did like pretty much everything there almost, except pretty much directly brew or like necessarily manage. But I came up with a couple beer ideas, and
so you weren't brewing?
No, I came up. I've homebrewed. You know, I've done that before.
Yeah, but I remember you saying you were brewing there.
So I came up with like a beer recipe idea basically. Okay. And like I would help on the canning line, and I have like brewed with them. Like I basically went and did a brew day multiple times where you like just help pour grains or pull the mash out, which is the spent grains or whatever. And
so what were you doing over there?
Like just bartending, but like everything basically.
Okay, so they had like a whole operation.
Yeah, so it was a brewery right there, and then they had a full bar, and then like after a year so it was basically in this big building called the Accelerator Space. And the upstairs was a wedding venue, or like a rented venue, which most of it was all wedding venues. And the back was called like what do they call them?
So this is the same business.
It's a giant like it was in
Like the wedding venue was part of the brewery.
No, it was a part of there was a landlord who owned the whole building,
Okay.
and the back was commissary kitchens, like shared kitchens.
Yeah.
And so it was just a bar at first and a brewery, and then they were distributing things like that the first year. And then after like a year and a half or so, maybe 2 years, maybe so, they got into the back and started cooking. And they had like they would do like smoked wings, which were like beer battered, like they would use one of the beers and like soak it.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah.
Did you guys have food?
Yeah, eventually they did, and like the food was pretty good for like bar food. I mean, it wasn't like 5-star gourmet, but it was really good bar like food. The wings were fire.
Beer battered.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. Yeah. But no, it was an amazing place to work for.
Beer batter, I would think more for fish though.
Or like not necessarily beer battered. What was it like? Beer soaked. Like they would take the wings and soak them in like Hops the Cat, which was one of their IPAs. And but what I was saying is like the experience was like I feel like the first year they used to be they would homebrew. And then they started contract brewing, which is like where you give a recipe and so forth to a brewery, and they'll brew it for you and can it and distribute it, and then like take a cut basically. And they were doing that for a while, for years, and then they opened up and
like you're brewing for different companies.
Yeah, basically, or like the brewery is like brewing for you essentially. Like if you don't have your own space, you know what I mean. You just give them the recipes for the beer. And then the grain build,
so like
and
if you want to start your own company,
yeah, you can start doing that, and then
like you give them your recipes, they do it for you.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
So
like
you're not actually brewing your own, but it's fresh brewed.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And there's a brewery here that does it. That like Stoop contract brews for them. So like they're from like California. I forgot the name of them, but they like give their
all beer isn't fresh brewed.
No, right? But they rent space in their brewery and then just brew their recipes there and then bottle it, can it or whatever, and keg it and then distribute it or bring it to their location or whatever. But so they Full Tilt eventually, Nick and Dan, their cousins, they eventually got their space on York Road, 5604 York Road, I think it was.
York Road?
Yeah, so kind of, it was in Govins technically, but it was near like Towson, like that area.
Okay.
And it was 1 block away from like the hood. Like that little neighborhood was like the back of Full Tilt.
It's like the cutoff.
Yeah, literally. Like I'm like as soon as you walk outside, like I mean honestly, kind of that block was still a little bit of the hood. There was a Wendy's. There's a Wendy's right there. Somebody got shot at the Wendy's. There's like 1 block down was Cold Spring.
Somebody got shot at the Wendy's.
Just so nonchalant growing up in Baltimore to have that Yeah. But so down the street, literally when you walk out the light, that was Cold Spring, and that was like, kind of the hood basically. So, but anyway, they found this space. They started brewing there. They had this guy Brian that was brewing for him. He eventually left. This guy Jordan who came on opened his own brewer eventually. But either way, basically what I was saying is like they created a culture in brewing and the brewing industry by like the bartenders like myself, Brett Lee. People like that and Logan, et cetera, who bartended there, who created this culture. Like I would have like wrestling on at the bar, South Park. We had like video games like Pop Shot, like the basketball, you know what I mean? And like NBA jams.
I mean like arcade?
Yes, yeah. So and like shuffleboard, all that. And
dude, I love shuffleboard.
Yeah, it was great. And so the beer that we were referencing earlier, Namaste Joe and Man Bun Joe, when I had a man bun, unfortunately, at one time. Yeah. So those were terpene infused beers that we did for the Stoner holiday, 420. And so basically, the origins of that, basically, Kalta, who is a dispensary and grower in Maryland of cannabis, they teamed up with RAR, who is another brewery in Maryland, and they were doing like some terpene stuff. So I basically recommended around 2020 for Full Tilt to do some terpene infused sours. Yeah. We started doing like
what the hell is terpene?
So terpenes are they're in cannabis, they're in hops. They're how like weed smells, and then like you get one kind of weed and it smells like something. It smells like diesel fuel or pineapple. Yes, because then you get another strain of weed and it smells like
strawberry.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that's the terpenes. So terpenes are found in hops and like vegetables,
it's like
fruits.
Whatever gives it scent.
Yeah, but it's like they're like flavonoids and like So basically, you have like myrcene, limonene, terpenoline, like humulene, all these different terps. Like humaline's found in.
So those are all different types of whatever.
So like you have cannabinoids, which are like THC, and that's what makes CBD. That's what makes you like stoned THC.
Right.
And then you have the terpenes, which are like the flavor and other effects of like smoking weed. Like like myrcene is found in mangoes and cinnamon, and like it's found in weed, and it's like a part of the smell. And then the terpenes also have effects, like therapeutic effects. Myrcene's kind of like the relaxing terp. Humulene is like the kind of like focusy kind of like terp. Like, you know, like when you smoke certain kind of weed and like you're running around cleaning your fucking house. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of like the terps.
I don't know if I ever smoked weed and done that.
But like, yeah, so there's like strains of weeds that do that. And
which one?
like Jack Herrera is a very like it's high in it's humulene, and
no,
there's
I know
another
what you
terp.
mean though, like the ones that give you like that
racy
high
yeah,
where you're like
well, it's more of like
more
behind the eyes, and
yeah.
you're like racy high, like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's almost like
See, I think instead of that, I get anxious.
which can like go along with that, but I feel like if you smoke the weed like indicas, that's gonna make you like couch locked. You're gonna be less likely to be like, you know, kind of racy. So, but yeah, so you basically companies extract terpenes from weed, or they extract them from like natural resources, like fruits and vegetables, hops, etc. And they make them like water soluble, so you can use them for like cocktails, for brewing, things like that.
So what form does it take then? Is it like become a powder?
No, it's like a liquid, kind of almost like a syrupy kind of liquid, basically. Right. And so
like a simple syrup.
Kind of, yeah, essentially, yeah. So I went to Nick and Dan and Jordan, who was a brewer at the time, and we were doing these line of sours called Dan's Jams, where the Joe's Jams kind of spawned from. And basically, they would brew a base of a beer and then sour it. You know what I mean? They would either use like lactobacillus or like this particular strain of yeast that sours, like lowers the pH, which makes it like sour.
The sourdough yeast.
It's basically like brewing is essentially liquid bread. You know what I mean? So but
it's like mostly the same process.
Essentially,
from
yeah.
what I understand it.
More or less, yeah. So and then they would add like you know, the first batch they did was Swedish Fish, Skittles. Yes, they would take candy and sit it in like these.
Does this turn like super sweet?
Yeah, basically they were candy beers. Like they were. Some people loved them. Like, dude, this is the thing. When we did the first four,
I love them too. But like, I can have like one maybe.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. They're novelty beers. It's not like the weirdos that would drink the whole 4-pack. You know, you're gonna get diabetes because it's literally like all sugar. But yeah, when during COVID, I remember we released the first 4, and it was Skittles, Swedish Fish,
Starburst.
Pink Starburst. Yes, exactly. And then there was one more. I can't think of it.
Jolly Rancher.
No, it might have been. We did Nerds later. I forgot. It'll come to me eventually. But bro, there was a line wrapped around the brew. You're talking mid-deep
Nerds?
2020. That was we did that later. Yeah, but there was a line wrapped around the brewery all the way around, like on York Road, all the way down to the like
going into the ghetto.
side street. Pretty much, yeah. In the ghetto. And you're talking like neck deep COVID, where it's like stay 6 feet away. Like, you know, people are wiping their fucking groceries down. And like these people lined up to get these beers, and it was like mass chaos. One of them was like mid can while we were releasing
What do you mean,
it.
wiping their groceries down?
Do you remember in like COVID when people would take like fucking I never did this white people shit, but like they would take hand sanitizer or like sanitizing wipes and wipe down their fucking groceries. Yeah.
Fucking retardo.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
What the fuck?
So I mean, it was COVID. So, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
It was COVID for me too. What
yeah,
the fuck?
I
are
know,
we
but
doing?
we're normal people. So, yeah. So
Those are the same people that wear the mask inside their
in their car
while
yes,
they're driving
exactly.
by themselves,
Yeah.
or outside.
Yeah.
And they're just walking by themselves.
Pretty much.
They're outside.
But yeah, so we did this line of sours called Dan's Jams, and Dan, the owner, Ball Miller, would there's a picture of him on his raft in his pool, and like they would change the shirt to like different things, and they would have like the pool that he was in would be filled with the candy or the fruit of the beer that for that release or whatever. Man, they did like there was one they did for Thanksgiving. Yes, dude, I'll have to show you. They did one for Thanksgiving that was like candy corn or like these ridiculous like over the top like crazy ideas for beer, which worked, and they were great. They were great, dude. So basically, right around 2021, I told them like we should do like terpene infused sours. I looked up how to like find like the lab that was like doing the extract, and you could just like get samples mailed, and then like you could buy some. And so the first batch was Man Bun Joe, and it was orange clementine terps basically.
See,
and
I'll get down with that
yeah,
shit.
it was. I think I have 1 or 2 cans left of that. It was basically like an orange creamsicle, and like I'd have the Man Bun on the
like the
cover and
natural
everything.
fruit sweetness, that's like not too sweet.
And it was
the candy sweetness.
it was green, and it would glow in the dark under a black light. Yeah, it was intense. I'll show you. And yeah, it was
the orange clementine.
The beer would glow in the dark, like under a black light.
How did it get green from orange?
Just like I don't want to say like food coloring or like whatever method they use to turn the beer green. Like
they did it on purpose.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like but they add riboflavin, which was like vitamin E.
Vitamin.
Yeah.
Vitamin. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that would make
That's what makes it taste good.
And that would make it glow in the dark, and it would make your piss glow in the dark if you put a black light in.
Riboflavin does.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So it would glow in the dark. Yes, the Man Bun Joe, and then we did one that was like sour gummies worms was the 4th beer that we did. Yes, bro. Yes. Yeah. Yes, they were insane. And so the second terpene one that we did, the same like release, was sour or gummy worms and runts or some. I forgot what the terp was. I have to look it up. But it was basically the flavor of weed that matched like gummy worms, basically. And yeah, they sold really well. They were great. You know what I mean? It was they were great beers. And then in 2022, right before I left on my road trip that I was telling you about, Dan basically came to me and was like, we want to do another batch of like terpene beers, like come up with one of them. And I came up with a couple ideas. And then we finally decided on blue raspberry, basically. So it was like blue raspberry lemonade. And it's lemon diesel terps with like blue raspberry extract.
That wasn't like my favorite shit as a kid. It was like the blue raspberry stuff.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't make any sense. There's no blue raspberry.
I know it's not a thing. Yes, exactly. Yeah. But they're incredible. And they're Imperials, so they're like 8.5%. So they're strong. Oh, yeah. And it was like a bluish green tint basically, and it had the terps, and we released it, and it was the label's fired. That's where the sticker comes from. Joe's Jam is the label or whatever. Yeah. And it had some Easter eggs on there. If you're a fan of like Resident Evil, there's a Resident Evil 1 CD case, like the PlayStation game, and there's some weed broken up on it. And then in the back, like it's Dan's backyard essentially. And then in the back, there's the pop shot, like the basketball with my high score, because at least from what I remember, I still held the high score up until Full Tilt closed, basically, which was like 140 or some like crazy shit. I would, during downtime, or if the bar was like kind of slow.
So you play basketball?
Or literally mid-shift. We would play PlayStation. We'd be...
Oh, did you play basketball?
No, I suck at sports. Yeah, I don't have an athletic bone in my body. Huh. Yeah, you got to see me lay it up. It's pretty bad.
But with the
pop shot, yes, arcade. I was nasty. Yes, I was nasty with it. I mean, it was the greatest job of my life, bro. Honestly, like not just the terp beers, like you know how every job's like, oh, we're a little family. Like, no, I actually really felt genuinely like that. Like, these dudes are my friends. I still talk to them. I still see Dan. Like, every time I go back to Baltimore, I see Nick occasionally. You know what I mean? I talk to them. I Instagram them all the time. Like, they're some of my best friends in the world. And, I mean, like, all of the people that work there, Logan, Brett Lee, all the back of house people, Stefan, my boy Reggie, D, you know, Finn, who was also who would help with photography. Like, that was what I was getting at. The culture, the Instagram, the things that they would do, like, was next level. It was like breweries weren't doing these things, and then like we started making all this like Instagram content. You know what I mean? Like, that was like over the top, and then like there was wrestling themed beers. We did a bunch of wrestling themed beers for WrestleMania. Like, there was one that was West Coast versus East Coast, and it was Ric Flair versus John Cena. And it was like a West Coast IPA and a hazy IPA, you know what I mean, East Coast. And then like my boy Scooter, who works at Max's down in Baltimore on Broadway, he did beers with them. He's really great friends with them too as well. Big wrestling fan. So we did all of this like wrestling themed shit. Like, that's what people came for. Like, I specifically remember when we released those wrestling beers, we did Hops of Darkness, which was The Undertaker. It was a black IPA. Like, my boy Art now, the one who does the work, like, they're phenomenal. Like, the characters are like insane. Like, it was basically like the Undertaker's depiction, but as a hop, and Paul Bear, you know, like his old manager, dope. Bret Hart, you know what I mean? Like, they were incredible. And like they did one of like Scooter and like the referee outfit for like one of the beer releases or whatever. And we had like this couple came down from New York because they were big wrestling fans, and we'd have it on at the bar. They had a full Hops the Cat title belt that Scooter bought Nick, one of the owners, like an actual wrestling fucking title. We would all go to wrestling events. Like, I used to go to Nick's house for like pay-per-views, you know, like the WWE shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So like it had a culture, like the beer, it really stood out. Like, it was a great place to fucking work for. Like, we made bank. You know what I mean? Like, Nick and Dan were great people to fucking work for. You know, obviously a lot of places have hiccups, shit happens, you know what I mean? Things like that.
So what happened with Full Toe?
So I, honestly, bro, I say this, not to put myself over, but there's a scene in Spider-Man 2 where he's holding the train from crashing and he's struggling, and it's like a meme. I feel like I was kind of doing that towards the end. Cause there was just a lot of mismanaging, things fucked up. The pandemic kind of fucked a lot of things up.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Certain bartenders who were just shitty people, you know what I'm saying, and just like shitty bartenders, and then like the standards kind of dropped for a lot of things, and like, you know, the brewer at the time wasn't making the best beer and stuff like that, and it just kind of, you know, a lot of things fall into place.
It didn't stay the same owners?
No, they were there up until they closed, basically.
So they took a more step back at the end?
They like
involved as they used to be? Or?
I basically,
because from what you're saying, like, they had a good like presence there, and always knew what was going on.
It felt like that, and at that time, I guess it was. But like, they had lives of their own. They have kids, you know what I mean? They have full-time jobs, you know what I mean? Like, so it wasn't just like it wasn't a labor of love. It wasn't just like a labor of love.
They weren't quite able to see exactly what was happening.
A lot of times, yes, and I would express that, and it would like feel like it would fall on deaf ears because of whatever reason. And I'm not bad-mouthing them. Those are like great guys. We've talked about this, and I would express that. But like, it's hard to run a business, you know, and like then the pandemic hits, you know what I mean? And like, I just feel like
you said, shit happens.
Yeah.
And you know, like, no matter what, you always, and as an owner too, like you would want to hope that everyone's doing the max that they could to help you succeed.
Yeah.
And if that's not happening, it's not always easy to see.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's sad to see that.
Yeah. You know, I wasn't there for the last 9 months when they closed. Like, when I left, like, they were still doing pretty good. Like, we were always busy on Fridays and Saturdays and even Sundays. And like, Tuesday was always pumping for trivia. Like, there would be, you know, a huge crowd of trivia like every week. And it was a great place, man. I still talk to a lot of the regulars, and, you know.
Yeah, that seems to be your favorite job you've held.
I would say so. It's definitely in the industry. I would say, like, maybe even in general. I mean, and we like we'd always sit out front, like Logan, myself, Reggie, Stefan, all of them, like, you know, and sit outside and smoke blunts. You know what I mean? Like just fucking 4 or 5 blunts a night or whatever. Like everybody would drink. You know what I mean? Obviously, they had events like All Time Low, who is a band, like pop punk kind of band from Maryland. The lead singer was like one of the investors at Full Tilt, and Alex Gaskar, I think that's how you pronounce his name. But so they did concerts there. Like they did one right before COVID in January. They performed there, and it was, dude, like they made fucking like 30 grand that weekend from like ticket sales, like merch, bar stuff. Like people flew in from out of state. They're like there's huge All Time Low marks. Like they're like they're kind of like the pop punk juggalo, I guess, if that's the right way to say it, is like the fandom for All Time Low is like, you know. So there's basically, we had this fucking show, and All Time Low wasn't really touring at that time from what I remember. And I think they just put out a song, and then they stopped. They did a show at Full Tilt right before the pandemic. It was in January, and it was insane. Like it was. I mean, we made a shit ton of money. Like you know, and then the pandemic hit. We were literally delivering beer out of our cars at one time. Like we were still brewing, you know, and I was along with a couple other people that were working there. Like we were literally driving beer. Like they set up this thing called Beer
Did
Me.
you start with them at the ground floor?
As far as like
they opened.
Well, I knew Nick and Dan, mainly Dan from Alewife. I worked at this bar, this gastro pub in Baltimore. That was like when I really I started out as a busboy at Sabatino's, which is in Little Italy, still there in Baltimore. It's like a, you know, Italian spot. I only worked there for like a summer. I was like 16, but when I really broke into the industry, it was at Alewife, and I started out as a food runner, and it was in 2011. And they were an old bank that they converted into a restaurant, like a gastropub.
Shit.
Yeah, and it had 40 national craft beer on draft before like this huge influx of like beer, like when people were still calling them microbreweries and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I was a food runner, and then I like worked my way up to like bar back, and then I started bartending and so forth. And like I met Dan there, and I remember they were like pretty much brewing, I think, that out of their backyard or something like that. And Full Tilt was getting up and running and things like that. And it's like the name and like how they would, you know, brew, and then like have like days at their house where their friends would come over and rate the beer and write like, you know, like, oh, this was, you know, good, or I tasted this, or you could improve on this or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I met them there, and then I was living in Seattle at the time, actually in 2018, and was moving back home to Baltimore, and followed them on Instagram, and I saw they were opening up a tap room, and I basically DM'd them and was like, hey, can I send you my resume, you know, blah, 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 and like come talk. And Ryan Cooper, my boy Coop, who interviewed me, brought me in, and I interviewed with him and Nick, and then got the job basically. And then met Dan again, who was, I didn't realize, like I met him at the first night I worked, and was like, oh shit, I know you from Alewife, basically. So like I had already known them, not super well, but known them, and then reconnected, and then became like best friends with these people, you know what I mean? And but yeah, it was, like I said, like there was, the experience there was like the wrestling theme stuff, the South Park, you know what I mean, the weed theme stuff, like the character, you know, behind the bar, you know what I'm saying? Like it was, they had a full bar, like they did, you know, some pretty decent like whiskey and stuff like that, and they had their own little like cocktail bar or cocktail list, but it was mainly about the beer. And like there was hella arcade games and stuff, and they had a outdoor seating area basically, and they had they were doing food trucks at first, like most places, and then like I said, they got into the back kitchen, and like they were making food, and they would do specials, and it was a great experience, man. I will say that it was probably honestly my favorite place to work for, and you know, it's sad that it went down, but like, you know, shit happens, and I think the pandemic and a lot of other things kind of messed that up a little bit. But yeah, they it was a great place. I feel like we got a little cut off here because of the.
No, we're good. We're still going.
It's later. Smart this one. So basically, I left in June of 2022, and then spent about 4 months on the road traveling, and ended up back here in Seattle. And it's been it's been a good experience here working in bars and like tap rooms and stuff.
Out here?
September of 2022. So I left in June, and then basically traveled up to like Michigan. Was in Michigan, did the Upper Peninsula up there, came down through Wisconsin, and then over to like South Dakota. Stayed in South Dakota, saw Mount Rushmore, did Custer State Park, all that stuff. Then went up to Montana and stayed in like Billings and Bozeman, camped, stayed at Airbnbs, did some hiking and stuff, and then basically came down. Was gonna do Yellowstone and stuff, but it was flooded at the time, and then ended up basically going all the way down to Nevada and stayed in Vegas. Went to Money in the Bank, which is a big wrestling pay-per-view there at Caesar's Palace, and then went to San Diego. From there, stayed in San Diego for probably about a week, I'd say, and that was incredible. San Diego is fucking amazing. I don't know if you've ever been.
No, I've never been to Cali.
Dude, California is fucking sick.
I want to do the drive.
Yes, I did. I was gonna say that. I did the Pacific Highway 1. It was incredible, bro. It's fucking one of the best drives.
Redwoods, and then like do the PCH down there.
Yeah.
Dude,
I spent some.
Been on my list.
It's dope, dude. Yeah. I was blessed to do it, but stayed in San Diego and then went up to LA. Stayed in LA for about 10 days with a friend of mine.
That's true.
Oh, my bad. Okay, cool. But stayed in LA for a little bit, and then drove up, did Pacific One all the way up to Big Sur, and then stayed in like Northern California, like Central California, and then Northern. And then
all over.
I was in California for probably about almost a month, and then went up to Southern Oregon, did Crater Lake, and then did Eugene.
So is this like all off of savings, or did you like work while you're...
I was basically, when I moved back to Baltimore, like the idea was to like crunch down and like save money and then move back here to the Pacific Northwest, and then COVID hit, so that just kind of fucked everything up in life. Yeah. But I ended up like getting unemployment while I was working. And, obviously was able to, like, thankfully pay my credit cards off and save. And I lived at home, so I was just able to, like, fucking save as much money. Yes, bro. Like, all I did was, I traveled a lot, and then there was this period of time where I was like, all right, I'm not doing shit for the next, like, 8 months. I'm just saving money. You know what I mean? Like, literally not doing shit. Yeah. And would just save dough. And I had, like, almost 10 grand when I left. And, like, obviously gas was, like, $5 a gallon around the country at the time. So I spent, like, $1,500 in gas alone.
Even more now.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, still paying my car payment and car insurance and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I had enough just, to save for that. And then I started doing, like, DoorDash and Uber Eats in California and shit just to, like, make some bread and shit. And you can actually make some good fucking money doing that.
Oh, yeah.
And was living in my car. I literally was living in my car.
Like, Lyft and Uber is easier... Or not easier, but better money. But
sure, but it is. But you're
in a pinch, doing that shit.
I was literally living in my car, like. So I went up to Eugene in Oregon, and then my boy Brian lives in Portland, and he wasn't in a great situation, and we like. I didn't really have anywhere to stay, so I was literally living in my car, like showering at Planet Fitness. And then we would like hang out, like, and I would be like looking for a gig and like trying to find a place and stuff like that. And then like it didn't work out, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going up to Seattle. I'm gonna go see my boy up here." I just came up here, and I remember staying at right near Cary Park like the first night, and like I don't know, I was kind of decided at that point that like I want to stay here.
Where's that?
Cary Park is in Queen Anne. It overlooks like you see like the Space Needle and the skyline and everything like that, and even Mount Rainier in the back. And so I kind of just knew I wanted to stay here. And then somebody like had said something along the lines of like I was talking to them. They're back in Baltimore, and they were like, "I have a feeling I'll see you soon." And like I feel like that was like, not like me wanting to prove them wrong, but kind of. And like I ended up finding a gig, at Standard Brewing, Sovereign Brewing. Sovereign Brewing did like open fermentation beers, like unique style sours where you like brew the base of the beer and then sit it out in the open and let the yeast in the air inoculate it, basically.
Yeah, you don't cover it.
Yeah, and then like put it in wine barrels and stuff like that. Like really unique, fucking awesome stuff. Like the beers were phenomenal, but like niche shit. and worked there, and then ended up getting my apartment like for the price that I found it for, with like parking and everything like that. Like, it was a fucking steal. And it's in North Seattle's dope, dude. Like, I could never see myself being almost 40 and living in Capitol Hill or anything like that. You know, like, that's too, like, I don't want to live around a fucking bunch of homeless people and like crazy shit and like young fucking wildos and like, you know what I mean? So like, North Seattle's quiet. Like, you got Carkeek Park, like, you know, all of Edmonds is dope, like the water where like a Pulu is and stuff like that. That's all like incredible. And I was like blessed to fucking find that place. And you know, and
it's the same thing with this place. Like, I found it on Craigslist.
Nice.
And
I didn't even know people still use Craigslist.
That day, I was working at Marquette. The owner came. She didn't even. I don't think she even charged me like for like first, last, and deposit. I think she gave it to me just for the first, because like I explained to her my situation. And I was in a bind, and she was like super accommodating. They've been like the best landlords ever.
Nice.
And this is like the luckiest spot that I could have ended up at, because Echo Lake is right there. Yeah. And we'll go out after this and I'll show you why it's worth it. It's like around all this craziness, we got 99 right there.
Yeah.
But like, you come down this hill, even though they put up this is like a low-income housing / homeless shelter.
Oh, wow.
And since they put up this building, like, I used to go out of my entrance, go up to that parking lot, and there's trees like right in front. It's just, you can't see the skyline. There was just trees, beautiful, right at this, right behind this parking juncture. And they had to cut all that down, put up this building. But even so, like, you come down this hill into this complex, and it's just like gets away from all that craziness.
Yeah.
No one ever really fucks with this shit. But like, I got this letter from, I think it's like one of those people that has too much time on their hands.
Of course, yeah.
And I think they went around the whole complex posting it on everybody's door. Oh yeah, we have all this loud shit coming from and criminality. It's not affecting us. Like, okay, fine. It sucks, but like, what is your email gonna do?
What is your email gonna do?
It's not gonna do anything. That place is still gonna be there. Like, you cannot just take it away.
Yeah.
Anyway, just having access to this Echo Lake, dude. It's like, it's kind of like a paradise back there. Like, nice. You go out there, there's a little dock. You can paddleboard. You can jump in.
Oh, wow, really?
There's fish in there.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And it's like clean. It's not like Lake Ballinger or like fucking Green Lake. Dude, we tried going there. We tried going there paddleboarding once.
Yeah.
Okay, goose poop everywhere, right?
Of course, yeah.
But then we found a spot. We're like, okay, not really that much goose poop around here. Let's go in here. And I looked around. There's fucking 3 used condoms, dude. I was like, fuck, okay, we're getting out of here. Like, fuck this shit, dude.
That's funny. One of my first experiences
like
at
South Lake Union's great. Like,
yeah. I was walking around Green Lake, and there was like a homeless dude like shouting to the sky and like walking around, and like, it's so funny to see like the collection of pictures that I have of like, or videos of, you know, people call them gronks here. I've heard that term, which is
I've
like
heard it,
it's like
what the fuck it is.
It's kind of like, I guess, a pseudo like passive aggressive like term for like homeless people or drug addicts. I guess it would be pretty much like crazy drug addict homeless people, not so much just like unhoused or homeless people. But so yeah, so they call them gronks. And he's like yelling to the sky and like just being fucking crazy.
One football player that might have something against that.
But people are just walking by, or like you go downtown and you see like people just laid out on the street that like could potentially be dead. You know what I'm saying? And they're probably just sleeping or whatever, or like passed out or high on whatever. And people just walk around. You know what I mean? It's so desensitized to like the culture here like that. So like being at a place like Green Lake where it's pretty nice, and then you just have this like crazy person shouting, and like everyone's just walking around like it's normal, and like I mean, we have like kind of normalized the abnormal with like that. Like,
Well, the
okay,
sad part of that is that these people, instead of having easy access to help, which a lot of them, that's what they need. And a lot of them, like, there's some of them I see out there that look completely normal.
yeah,
They're dressed normally, they look clean.
yeah,
And they're like young.
yeah.
And you could be fucking working, dude. What
Yeah,
are you
exactly.
doing? Like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Like, we all got a lot of problems.
No, of course.
But, like, go get a job.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to be standing there.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of
That's
enabling
just some, like,
that goes on.
But,
you know,
apart from that, rather than having easy access to the help, they get encouraged the other way.
yeah,
where
exactly. Yes.
The government is providing money
Yeah.
to stay that way.
Yeah, exactly. Or allowing you to like post a tent up randomly in Mercer Street or wherever.
There's
and,
shit.
yeah.
There's laws that protect them
Yeah,
from being
exactly.
kicked off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
And if you're unfit to be in society, you need to be in a place that's going to take care of you.
You got all this
know what I
money
mean?
to pass all these laws,
Yep.
to do all this shit, go all these wars, but we can't for the fucking citizens of the country, we can't have. I mean, there's plenty of fucking psychiatrists, psychologists, health professionals out there.
Yeah.
Set up a program that makes it easy. Okay, you go to the center. All of this shit is free, and the government pays all the people to give you all. This help.
I think there is access to it. I think sometimes
it's not really that easy.
Sometimes when there's sweeps, when they go and like clean up homeless encampments and things like that, they offer a lot of these services. You know what I mean? From what I understand,
Is that what it should take?
I mean,
rather than every one of these homeless people knowing that we have this spot we can go to. Everyone knows, you can go here and they'll get you housing, they'll get you fucking mental health and help to get a job.
Yeah,
all in one. It should be fucking easy. But it's not. It's not like that. I don't care what you say. It's not
I think it's
that easy.
I think it's harder than most people think, but I think it's also easier. And I think what the issue is,
I don't know all the steps, but I know it's not as easy as it should be for.
Sure, no, I agree, but I think what the issue is like you need to want to get help. You know what I mean? Like you need to hit rock bottom, or you need like I have friends who were.
But a lot of these people don't have that mental capability to be able to say,
make that decision.
I've hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
I want to get better now.
Well, would you say those people who aren't...
And a lot of those people do, and those are the people taking advantage of these other people's situation that don't have that mental capacity.
Yes. Agreed, yeah. Agreed. But that's just an asshole.
And that's just,
if you're consciously making the decision to take advantage of a system in any way.
That's the same people that are fucking taking advantage of this fucking tipping system.
Yes, exactly.
Culture, similar people.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But back to the restaurant industry. So, what made you switch from front of house to back of house?
Oh, dude, that's I never really wanted to be front of house. I just kind of fell in my lap kind of deal. Like I was just out looking for a job, and I wanted to be in the kitchen, but they're like, no experience, no way.
Yeah.
But I never knew the culture, so I never knew that you could start at dish and you work your way up to kitchen if you want.
Yeah. I
never knew any of that. I just always saw the posting, went for the job. No one ever was like, hey, you could come in at dish and work your way up to, because people want experience.
Yeah.
People want people with but
I mean,
I just always wanted to. That's just I always loved cooking, and that's just always what I wanted to do. And I kind of had like a discouraging household when it came to that. Like a very old school mom and old school grandma, and that's who I was raised by. And they're both like, unfortunately, systematically and culturally racist a little bit, and my grandma a lot of bit. That's besides the point. But they were also sexist.
Yeah.
And always with the, oh yeah, you don't want to do that. That's a woman's work.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, would you agree that
that was
it
always
just
pretty
different
discouraging
times?
as a kid, but like once I got to a certain age, I was like, fuck this shit. Like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
I'm
of
going
course.
for it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Can you pass that lighter?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, like, I worked a couple of serving jobs, and I knew that's just not for me. Like,
Sure. Sure.
now having all this experience, I could probably be a good server.
Yeah.
And handle those people that I was telling about, like,
Yeah.
accordingly and way better.
Yep.
This just comes from back then. Those are my feelings. And yeah, so once I like had all these, I had so many jobs. I was a pet sitter for like 5-6 years.
Oh wow.
My first job was I got hired as a gift wrapper at like a super like prestigious luggage store. We sold like fucking leather briefcases.
Okay.
Regular fucking Halliburton briefcases. Like,
Oh wow. Damn.
Nice pens like Mont Blanc. Fucking.
Okay.
And then, you know, luggage pieces everywhere from like $60 for a carry-on mid-sized piece and huge piece to like one little carry-on piece being like $1,200.
Oh wow. Damn.
So yeah, I wrapped for the season, for the Christmas season, and then I started selling luggage. So they just kept me on, and then just kept selling. It was great. It's a fucking sales is actually pretty cool craft. And with most stuff like that at like the higher end stores, it's worked on commissions, so you can get it like you can make it a career.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Because there's companies like individual companies like Samsonite, Toomey, Travel Pro, like they offer spiffs, so you get a dollar amount per piece sold, depending on the size and what piece it is. Then you get commissions off of that from the company, and then sometimes the store itself offers you a commission.
Oh wow.
Of some, so that's 3 additional income sources.
Yeah.
Other than your hourly rate.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
That's
but yeah,
good,
I held that job down for a while, like at 3.5 years.
Oh wow. Damn.
But then I also like delivered pizzas.
Yeah.
There was a summer where me and my boy, we fucking drinking. Like we would go and get a bottle. This was before I was 21. Go get a bottle. Go to the gas station, get 2 like big gulp cups, fill them with ice, and get a 2-liter soda, 2-liter Coke.
Yeah.
Either Jim Beam, E&J, or Jack.
Wow. E&J. Holy shit. I got some stories about E&J.
Then like that whole summer,
Holy
every morning,
shit,
dude, I would go pick
that's
them up,
funny.
and then we just deliver pizzas
Yeah.
together, smoking blunt after
Yes.
blunt, listening to fucking
Yes. Yeah.
The Chronic, and
That's great. I feel like we definitely grew up in the same household. We just went out different doors. You know
Yeah,
what
dude.
I mean? Like very similar lifestyles growing up.
and the fucking owner didn't give a fuck. Like,
Really?
she's like,
Was
as
it
long
a
as you deliver my pizzas, like.
was it a like
give
a
a fuck.
chain or was it like a
Oh,
like
no.
a private joint?
It's just a private joint.
Okay.
Some of the best pizza down in fucking Potomac, Maryland, bro.
Oh wow. Okay. Do you remember the place or?
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Not with drinking and driving.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was dumb shit, but you know, you do dumb shit when you're fucking 18 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
I fucking wrapped my car around the tree. My
Jesus.
first and only brand new car.
Holy shit.
That summer.
Damn.
It wasn't while I was working.
Yeah.
We were like, it was after work, and we had blow and fucking oxy
Oh,
and
wow. Damn.
more drink.
That's
more
why you're
weed.
permanently seated.
And dude, Fuck.
You're like
We were
Professor Xavier.
It was crazy, dude.
Damn.
It was crazy.
Well, I mean, obviously you survived, and
I knocked the fucking rear view mirror out with my nose.
holy shit. Damn.
Yeah, my buddy, because my buddy, like, he was fucking almost a professional driver, you know? Like, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
But we were on this fucking gravel road going, like, 90.
Holy shit.
And pumping some rap. And
Bad influencers.
I don't think that was it. I think we were just bad influence for each other. But no, I put my fucking moonroof open. It was a fucking Honda Civic, the fucking coupe, dude, stick shift.
Great cars.
And then I put my window down, and I did it twice. I climbed out
Get the
passenger
fuck out
window,
of here.
and then climbed back in from the fucking moonroof.
That's hilarious.
And then I was like all crazy about it, going all wild. And I did
TikTok
it again.
Before TikTok.
And I was like holding onto the roof.
Get the fuck out of here.
And then I had just fucking come back in and clicked my belt to where he was like, "Oh shit!" And we started like sliding out, and we spun around twice and then flew right into a tree.
Holy shit!
Fucking branches of the tree were like blocking. We had to like push fucking force.
You walked
our doors.
away, obviously. Yeah. Holy shit.
Probably because we were fucking drunk and relaxed. Like if we had been sober and tensed up.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucked.
Yeah. Damn. So I mean, do you know how fast you were going when you hit? Do you remember?
Like when we started sliding out, we were going like 70.
Damn, son. I mean, those Honda Civics, those are fucking beasts, man. That's what I drive, a Honda Civic. Those are great cars, man.
That was fucking crazy shit.
Yeah.
But no, like, so that's kind of, I always wanted to cook. But yeah, like after the luggage store, like I said, I delivered pizzas. I worked pet sitting. I even tried fucking being a courier once, which is kind of like Uber Eats now. Yeah. But before the fucking, you have a fucking GPS fucking maps on your phone.
Yeah.
Back when you had to look up the fucking where you're going on the map book, and you got G17, and then you find the street.
Damn.
Yeah. Wow. So I didn't really know the city at all, and it was in the city, and I didn't have the time or the salary. Like I was making little as you can because I have no idea where I'm going. I have to look it up every time.
Yeah.
So like it's not really worth it unless you can just like, oh, this is where I'm going. I know where I'm going. Or now with the GPS. Like, but I tried that. I worked at a bank for a while as a teller.
Oh wow! Damn.
I was the most accurate teller.
Okay.
So like at the end of your shift, you count your money.
Yeah.
And you can be like either over or under.
It's just like bartending.
Most days I was flat.
Nice.
There's this one guy, he's like always either 200 over or 200 under. Wow. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? But I don't know. I've always been okay with like math and counting and shit.
Nice. Yeah, I mean you use math and everything in your day-to-day life, especially in like cooking and stuff like that. As far as like measurements, timing.
Not as much in like savory cooking. If you're doing a lot of like baking,
sure,
and pastries, desserts,
that's true.
But with food, like in terms of savory food, recipes are like guidelines.
That's true.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you start going by the feel, and you don't really need to. You just know what's in the recipe and how much to. After a while, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you might have to glance at it to make sure you're not forgetting anything.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But
sure. Well, it's all like muscle memory. It's just like making a cocktail. Like you're gonna remember certain.
Exactly.
Do you? So what place did you work at where you started progressing? Is that what happened, or like did you start as a dishwasher? You said, and then worked your way up. Or?
No. So like last job I held before I went for it was at a HVAC place
Okay.
in plumbing.
Yeah.
And right before I decided to, they were great people, like great company. If I hadn't gone for cooking, I probably would have stuck with them.
Yes.
It was a family owned. James A. Wheat and Sons.
Okay.
Over in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Oh wow. Okay.
But family owned. They're more from the northern part of Maryland, which is like Hagerstown, up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, great owners. He even like right as I was deciding, he was like, "Listen, man, like I'll take you to accounting school. Like I'll pay for it.
Wow, damn.
And stick with us." Like I said, I was always pretty good with numbers and shit, so I was good at it. It was just not for me, man. Like I can't sit at that desk 8 hours a day.
Yeah,
and then
I couldn't do no shit like that.
I was kind of okay with that, but then like once you eat lunch, if it's a good like heavy lunch, like a fucking chicken teriyaki or like some fucking Hunan chicken, something something Indian or anything heavy, you know, like a cheesesteak, you know.
You don't feel like doing it.
You sit back down at that desk.
Yeah.
For like the next 2 hours, you're like,
yeah, literally,
because like it's heavy food, dude. Like now, like a lot of the progressive companies have like those standing desks. You know what I mean?
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like it's like a desk and it has like a railing that you mount it onto, and then you can like raise it and lower it in case you want to sit, and you can like raise it if you want to stand. But yeah, right then I just was going for it. That was back in like 2009, 2010.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
And then so I went to a cooking school, very concentrated French school called L'Académie de Cuisine.
Oh, okay.
And that was also in Gaithersburg. Super intense 1-year program, and pretty much like 6 months of classroom time, and then the rest 6 months is you're working in the restaurant. That's your externship. And you can't quit, you can't get fired, unless otherwise you don't graduate and you gotta start again.
Yeah.
At that stage, like you don't have to go through the classroom shit again. You just gotta get another job and keep it. But it was really cool. Like the first 6 months is the first 2 phases, and then the third phase is the last 6 months. And the first 2 is, like in a classroom, each day you have super classic like French menu, appetizer or 2, entree or 2, and a dessert or 2, and salad niçoise, beef bourguignon, and then creme brulee, whatever.
Okay.
And
I know 1 or 2 of those words.
And then they have a classroom where they have a kitchen in each classroom, right? And there's a mirror that's like angled, so you have like a bird's eye view, like looking down of what they're doing, and then you can also you're looking directly at them too. And so you can see like what they're throwing in each pan, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then like the technique of what they're doing too, like how to flip, whatever, how to use the spatula, whatever. And then the second half of the day, you go into the kitchen and you replicate. So you break off into like groups of 4 or 5, and then each one picks like, okay, either both of us will work on the salad, this guy and this guy will work on the entree, and they will work on the dessert. Or this person will work on the dessert.
And how long was that? 2 years or?
No, 1 year.
1 year? Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
So 6 months and then 6 months.
Okay. Damn. Okay. Nice. And then you started working from there in the industry? Or how did
Okay. So it was a great school. They closed since. But so basically they help you find your externship job. And I stayed there almost 2 years.
Nice.
It was a Belgian gastropub.
Okay.
And it's Chef Robert Wiedemeyer's place called the Muscle Bar. And
Okay.
that was his first one, meaning muscle bar wise. If you wouldn't mind. So yeah, he had his first restaurant, Marcel's, and that was his first main fine dining restaurant that I knew. And then so I kind of interviewed there, and then I think I staged too. And then they offered me the job at the Muscle Bar. They were like, "We're opening this new spot. Used to be a Turkish place, which did like Turkish style pizza kind of things.
Okay.
It was a great place called Levantes.
Go figure.
Right. It's nothing to do with me.
Okay. You said it was Levante?
Yeah, Levantes.
Okay.
I don't know what it means, if it's Turkish or not, but it was a Turkish.
It sounds black, honestly. Levante. That's okay. Great.
And so then they took that space and turned it into this gastropub. They like almost redid the whole thing. Like they kept the wood-fired oven, but pretty much gutted the whole place and redid it all. They had like, or have, it's still there, I'm pretty sure. Beer bottle fucking lanterns.
Oh, cool.
Or chandeliers.
Yeah.
And he's got
hipster.
like something like 1,000 Belgian beers.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
Dude, it made me fall in love with Belgian beers.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. A big one is the Delirium Tremens.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
And then like and most of them are made by monks, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
with Trappist yeast.
Yeah. And my favorite one, I can never remember it, but it was a blonde. I can't remember but it's like this yellow bottle. Really good. But yeah, so I went from there, stuck with Belgian cuisine down the line. And then, so you said you left Baltimore in 2018?
Well, yeah, I guess multiple times actually. Technically, I so just on the restaurant industry, like I said, I started as a busboy and then worked at Alewife, and then kind of got fired / kind of quit at Alewife, and then
What happened there?
I mean, long story short, it was just banging people you work with, and it not never ending well. Obviously, it never fucking ends well, and I've learned my lesson multiple times about that, unfortunately. Once I left there, I worked in Federal Hill, down in Baltimore City with all the bros. This was around 2013. I like bar backed and ran food at this spot that's no longer there. It was called Row House Grill. It was owned by this owner who was all coked up all the time, just like a stereotypical like shitty restaurant bar owner, just a dick and cheapskate. And and then I actually left there, and then I was doing audits for Bev & Co., which is like we would go and weigh kegs and bottles at like different bars and breweries and strip clubs. Not so much breweries, but like this was like 2014, and it was a late night job, so it was obviously after the bars closed, so it would be like 3 a.m. or 3:30 in the morning to like 9 in the morning or something, you know. So we would go to bars after like they close, count all the bottles, weigh all the like bottles of booze. And then they would do a report like, okay, this is what it was before we left, and these are the sales. So the sales have to match what was poured. You know what I mean? So
right.
Like, so if you're
very meticulous, keeping track of inventory.
Exactly, yeah. And like, because all that shit adds up. You know what I mean? If you look at it like, okay, an ounce and a half is like standard for a shot or for like cocktails and making drinks with like booze, and like if you charge $10 for a shot, that's an ounce and a half, and let's say you over poured the equivalent of 25 shots, that's $250. You know what I'm saying? Right there in revenue that the bar, that the company, that the whoever is losing out on. So like, and these were, some of them were like kind of like rundown bars. Some were really nice restaurants all around Maryland. Like it was like within like an hour-ish kind of drive, not maybe a little bit less, like I'd say like 45 minutes. It was mainly all like outer city. But then on Thursday nights into Friday, we did Norma Jean's and the Hustler Club down on Baltimore Street. We would go there and weigh like the bottles and shit. And but they were.
Did you ever go to Night Shift?
It sounds familiar. Night Shift, was that down on the block, or
that was like kind of it wasn't really buy anything else. It was like kind of out of the way.
Was it like a club or like a
strip club?
Strip club? Okay,
Yeah.
It definitely sounds familiar.
My
Yeah.
friend worked there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we used
Nice.
to drop her off all the time.
Nice. Nice.
My buddy drove, so I can't really like recall exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
Plus, it's such a fucking shit. 22 years ago.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember shit.
Yeah.
Dude.
But yeah, so I did that, and then actually moved to Houston for a little while with my boy.
But yeah, that's the one annoying thing is like trying to figure this shit out.
Oh yeah, I can
And
imagine.
then also like the focusing of this, like it's not quite, that one's like focused on me, no problem, really good. And I'm not getting that square from that one. But this one is being a little bitch. I don't know what the fuck. I'm sure it's something with one of the settings, because if that one can do it, this one can do it too.
Yeah.
But after we started, I thought maybe it's something with the, at least with the focus thing. Like if I take off the lens and wipe both ends, like the inside of the lens and inside of the camera, maybe that's got something in there.
Yeah, possibly.
But, hey, you want to hit some food after this?
Yeah, sure. Where do you want to go? You got a spot?
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so what were we talking about?
So I
you were
moved
talking
to
about-
Houston.
Yeah.
So I moved to Houston, and I was living in. It was almost like a frat house with me.
This was like
to
on
my-
the way to here.
No, this was end of 2014, going into 2015.
So it was like first time you left Baltimore.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
basically. So I was there for, I think it was like just under like 7 months, I'm gonna say, and I honestly I kind of hated it. Like it was just hot as fuck. Like
You didn't like Houston.
I hated the humidity, the culture. Like it wasn't full blown like cowboy or anything like that, but it was just
So
Texas
Houston
has
is like still humid.
yeah, very fucking humid. Like
Okay.
it's because it's on the Gulf or whatever.
I got you.
And yeah, it's humid as fuck, and it's just a
You
different
just
culture.
eat some weed, bro.
I did, yeah. Yeah. So I was actually I was an exterminator for a little while with my
What?
boy. Yes, yeah.
Get the fuck out of
yeah,
here.
an exterminator. Yeah,
Like
this-
like cockroaches and like
Yes.
pests. Like okay.
yeah, it was mainly cockroaches. So we basically, it was this company that would go and they would get contracts with apartments, because Houston's like all apartments. It's flat as fuck. It's all shopping centers and apartments. Like, you know what I
There
mean?
gotta be
Like,
houses too.
yeah, I mean there's neighborhoods in cul-de-sacs. Like I lived in a really nice dude. It was $1,200 for a 3-bedroom house, fucking with a big
Get the
with a
fuck
garage,
outta
with
here.
a backyard. Yes, and a cul-de-sac. Yes, I mean this was 10 years ago.
Yeah, but still.
you know, yeah. And it was me, my friend Tor.
$1,200.
Yes,
dude.
our friend Herbert, who went down with us. He drove down with
But
us.
how's the
This
salary?
dude Steve. At that time, I mean, minimum wage was like, I think.
No, I'm saying like how was the salary compared to the rent?
I mean, you're splitting it 5 ways because there was 5 heads up in there at this time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So we lucked out. But so I basically we would go to
But could you have afforded it just on your salary? Is what I'm
no,
asking.
no, not
Because
at that
like
time.
this shit's
Yeah.
fucking $1,450
Wow.
plus
Damn.
electric.
Oh damn. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, but it's also a 1-bedroom, right?
could you afford it?
If it was myself and like my friend Tor and our friend
Just
Herb,
you.
maybe, but just me, no, definitely not. Yeah, because I mean, you gotta look like with 40 hours, it was probably a week after taxes because they don't take state taxes out like here. So it was a little bit more. But even if it was, you know, $500, $550 a week after taxes, we'd say somewhere from what I relatively remember, like. you're not factoring in like gas and electric. You know, I didn't have a car at the time, like of my own, but I did eventually buy a car, which was one of the reasons why I left, because like car payment and then car insurance was so fucking high. Because at the time I was like not a new driver, but it was my like first time owning a car, and like my mom co-signed and shit like that. And
What'd you have?
a Volkswagen Jetta, 2012. Yeah, it was, and it had no air conditioning.
Those are sweet though,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, they're good cars, man.
The Jettas move.
Yeah, they were. It
Was
was
it automatic?
yeah. I can't drive a stick.
No?
like city people say.
Come on,
drive
bruh.
a stick. Nah. I mean, I'd like to learn eventually, but I end up getting a car.
It's easy to learn if you have a patient teacher.
Sure.
And the correct teacher, you know, it's
Yeah.
very simple. I had a very fucking my stepdad. He was fucking like he had a hair trigger temper. So if you're not getting it exactly how he wants you to do it,
Yeah.
fucking there's yelling
Yeah.
to the top of his lungs.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah. Well, we definitely come
that's
from a
not a
different
strong
generation.
suit, you know.
You know, where our parents were like, you know, that's the generation they come from, where it's like basically, you know, I'm gonna give you something to cry about, like, you know, you better sit down and shut the fuck up, you know, kind of situation. Do your schoolwork. But so no, so I was there. I bought a car. I hated that fucking exterminating job. Like, it was hot as fuck. It was like dealing with roaches.
What made you get it exterminating?
So my boy was working there, and it was just one of those like, fuck it, I can get the job. You know what I mean? Like, and just like work
He
there.
suckered you into it.
I guess, yeah, yeah. One of those like, if I'm gonna be miserable, you're gonna be miserable. And it was there was part.
I don't care who is working there.
Nah, I hated it.
I
bro.
would have not.
I fucking
I
hated
don't think
it.
I could have ever gone for
But
exterminating.
it was also like an experience of like, hey, I've never done it. The way he
no,
described
I
it
get,
was
no,
like,
no.
you're gonna
Plus,
be just
like when you're younger, it's like you don't know what we know right now.
exactly.
You know
Yes,
what I mean? Like
exactly. And
you don't know there. You don't necessarily realize. Oh, there's a way more easier option. Like I can just as easily get this job.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I did it for probably almost the entire time I was down there. I hated it. We would go to different apartments, and like people would have like requests, like you would request like, hey, I have like roaches, you know what I mean? And like, or your neighbor would say, hey, I have fucking ladybugs or whatever. So you would come in and spray, or like they would have people who would do bed bug treatment specifically and things like that. And I did like general like exterminate, where you would just go like to the apartments of that week that like you were assigned, and then like or your route or whatever, and then exterminate there. And sometimes no one would request anything, so you would just write everything off and like go to the next one. But you would have like a daily thing, and I hated it. It was so much driving. The traffic was horrible.
So you're going to the location even
Yes.
if no one's requesting.
Yes,
like
exactly.
you find out at the spot.
Yes, literally. Yes,
That's
exactly.
stupid.
Yeah, it's
Why not
fucking
just
stupid.
like have like a phone system?
You would think so, but it's also Texas, and like when I went down there, I remember when we arrived, like
What does that mean? It's also Texas.
like they're very like, and I'm not shitting on anybody from Texas, but like at least Houston was very like, it didn't look modernized at all. Like where we were, it looked like still kind of like, you know, just like the
Left back in time.
kind of, yeah. It wasn't like the old Wild Wild West or anything. Or,
No,
like,
no.
desolate,
But like not modernized, like you're saying.
exactly, yes, like the road systems, all that. The highways, there was like 4 or 5 lane highways, and there was always traffic. There was always accidents. People drove like nutcases in big giant trucks, like 90 miles an hour behind you, like insane. And the Baltimore riots happened, if you remember, with Freddie Gray.
I don't pay attention
You know,
to that,
that was
political bullshit.
2015, and basically, you know, this guy Freddie Gray ended up getting killed by the police or died in police custody.
I end up paying attention to it more now because
You're forced to in
stuff-
social media.
Well,
and
I'm not
shit,
forced
Not
to.
forced to, but it's
I just
right there in
get
your
more
face.
access.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And
Yes,
whether I'm interested in it or not.
yeah, exactly.
Like, and I've learned that it's not all bullshit. Like,
No.
a lot of political shit is bullshit to me because I think it's all fucking. It's all just a facade.
Yeah,
But
that's the next episode. But yeah, so the Freddie Gray riots happened, and I don't know, I just wanted to go back to Baltimore and like, you know, because it was like literal riots. Like they were burning the city. My boy Brandon is actually, there's a picture of him, dude I grew up with. he's holding. It's a famous picture from the riots, and it's him holding stolen goods from CVS. It's like diapers and like and then there's a photoshopped image of the Oriole bird like over him doing it. Like it's like there was like CVS on fire in the background. It's a pretty famous like image for the riots. I came back and they were over at the time. My brother's a cop and all things like that. He was blah blah.
For
blah.
you, it's a famous.
Sure, yes, yeah. But, well, if you literally type in Baltimore City riots, I swear to God, it's the first picture that pops up.
For you specifically,
yes,
it's famous.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. But so when I got back, my boy John Jacobs, who I worked with at Alewife, that gastropub, he was a cook there for a little while. He was the EC at Cardinal Tavern, which has now been like 7 different places since then. But it was they specialized in like kind of Southern food. It was like a really nice bar. They had like really good cocktails and like. That was a really fun place to work for too, and the food was fire. And then it eventually became a shit place to work because the owner sold it, etc. Blah blah blah. But I was working in the back house actually. I was cooking and mainly on fry, and I did like the wings and fries and everything. Obviously what's on the fucking fry side, and I hated it, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's
really?
why I have so much respect for you guys and for people who work in the back house. Like seriously, I really do. Like. There was a fan that we had that I would just put right next to me because it was so fucking hot. I'm so sensitive to like heat in general. Like I hate humidity and hot.
I am too. That's why I couldn't stay over there. I had to come out this way.
Yeah, it was same.
It's way closer to like the ecosystem of Georgia. Over there, like we get like 110 degree fucking heat.
Really?
If you're in the shade though, you're all right.
Yeah.
Over on the East Coast,
no, it's horrible. Yeah,
it's 80 degrees, 70 degrees. You're fucking sweating your fucking nuts off, dude.
Swamp ass. Yeah, it fucking hugs you. Anybody from the East Coast knows. So I legit hated it, and then I found like this dude ended up getting fired, so I like weaseled my way into like bar backing and running food and like hanging out at the bar basically. And I love the culture of the bar. The first time that I knew that I was like, this industry is for me, and I'm kind of I don't want to say a lifer, but like a lifer in a way. Like it was at Alewife. It was
20. These stigmas put behind terms. Like there's certain terms I don't like foodie.
Yeah,
but
foodie. That's great.
I don't like the stigmas put behind all these.
Like lifer.
Like, okay. So what? Like you. This is what you want to do. You're a lifer.
Yeah. If you can make good money and you're happy, then that's all that matters. And I think that's what I saw. Basically, I was bar backing. I was New Year's Eve, 2011, going into 2012, and we're like drinking champagne and we all like cheers, and it was just a great environment, like the servers and the bartenders and stuff, and the food was really good there. So it was just a really good, like I remember the memory vividly, sitting at like at the bar at the end of the bar where like the dishwasher was, and just like being like, damn, this is like something that I really enjoy doing and like doing, and that kind of motivated me. Plus the money, you know what I mean, to like stay in it. Yeah. And so like I said, I weaseled my way back into the front of house and was like bar backing and stuff and running food and still expoing and things like that. And I butted heads with the chef a lot. Like he's a great dude. I like him, but we ended up butting heads, and I ended up quitting, and I got a job at Jailbreak, which is in Laurel, and they're still there, and they didn't have the full kitchen. They got a whole like. They're like kind of upscale now, but they were just a brewery that had food trucks, like a big brewery. Like they were all over Moco, like distribution and stuff. And that was my entry into beer.
What was it?
Jailbreak Brewing. It's in Laurel. It's on Washington Boulevard.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, kind of near. It's closer to like Silver Spring. You're like in Moco, Montgomery County or whatever. And
whatever
that area, like everything to somebody that grew up in the city,
Baltimore or whatever.
No, you know what I mean. When you grow when you grow up in the city, everything is the county, like Montgomery County, Anne Arundel County. All it's just the county basically. And so I worked there, and I worked on the canning line. I bartended, I bar backed, I did sales, I deliver. I did pretty that's kind of where I broke in the industry of beer and started really learning about beer. and fucked that up again by fucking somebody that I worked with, and it just going down fucking hill, of course. And,
Learning process, bro.
Yeah, so many times, yes. And I probably still haven't learned.
That was my first, like, when I that first restaurant job I had where I started serving. That was my first girlfriend.
Really? See, exactly. Yes, it's a very incestuous business. Like, that's when I go out with my friends and they're talking about trying to fuck one of the bartenders. I'm like, she's probably with another bartender that already works there or somewhere else, basically. But yeah, so I left there, and actually, that's when I came to Seattle for the first time. It was 2018. I lived at the Green Tortoise down on First and Pike, basically, and the hostel right there. And I did like a work trade program where you live there and they room and board you. And it was great. I had a hostel girlfriend and stuff like that. And
you had a hostel girlfriend?
Yeah, basically somebody I like lived with. It was that. The ship.
How hostile was she?
That's pretty funny. Well, she was black and Puerto Rican, so very hostile.
Hey.
You know? But yeah. So she
that's gotta be a beautiful mix, right?
Yeah,
there.
she's a great person. But either way, sidetracking. So I worked there, and I also worked at Lowell's, which is the restaurant in the market. Basically, it's like mainly like seafood, but they have like other stuff, and it's like you can overlook, and it overlooks Elliott Bay and stuff like that. And I like ran food and did stuff there, and it didn't work out. Living at the hostel, it was crazy. It was like such a chaotic lifestyle. It was one of the greatest experiences of my life, but it was kind of chaotic at the same time. Like it almost felt like kind of prison-y, in a way. Like so
you're locked in.
Yeah, and you're like, you have to work there for a certain amount of hours, and then like the last couple of months while I was there, I didn't even have a bed. I was like sleeping in bed with the chick Serena that I was dating, like two people and like a fucking twin, like a hostel bed. Yeah, it was poorly managed. So I leave there, I go to Denver. I spent some time in Denver, actually, like a rest of the summer there, and did a workaway. That's how I found the hostel originally, was workaway.info, and and then I was like, all right, I got to get back to Baltimore, because I was like still paying my car payment and just like was drowning essentially, like, and went back to Baltimore, and then I actually got a job at the Guinness brewery that's in Baltimore for like a month and a half, basically, or maybe a little bit longer, before Full Tilt opened, because they were opening in end of 2018, and I basically worked at Guinness to like just make some money, basically, and that's a corporate, and I hate corporate. I will never work for another corporate job. Like, not even a corporate job, like a corporate restaurant. Like, they're owned by Diageo. There's like 7 managers on floor. There was like 10 bar backs, like 12 bartenders. And granted, it was
huge spot.
Yeah, exactly. It was insane, and it's very much like you got to wear the outfit like this. You have to have particular color shoes. You have to. There's all this like orientation. That's all. It just doesn't seem genuine. Your
belt's not the right color.
Literally, yes. I swear on my life that happened to me. No bullshit, no exaggeration. Yeah. Yes. And then once Full Tilt opened, I said, fuck it. I got up in there, and and then like I said, I was there for almost 4 years, and that was a great experience. Like I was saying earlier. I said that. Oh, maybe I didn't. But 4 years, basically from the end of 2018 till summer of 2022. And then spent, like I said, traveled, and then ended up here, and
maybe
here
ever
did,
since. Because, like I said, I don't smoke that much weed.
Well, I was gonna say it might be the weed, the whiskey, no, and I love it here. Like, I love the Pacific Northwest. Like, being from Baltimore it's a completely different culture. It's a completely different climate. It's everything. Like, the one thing I will say though that I'm not gonna say I haven't adjusted to. I would say that I'm just like fine with now is the gray and overcast. Not so much the rain. I think the rain people kind of overrate.
I love rain.
I do too, but 9 months of the year,
dude, it'll be sunny and raining.
Yeah, and there's thunderstorms. I mean? Like, we don't get shit like that here in the Pacific Northwest.
I'm talking about back in Georgia.
Like, wow.
We get rain too, but like it'll be a sunny day and raining. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's like Florida. Yeah.
And that kind of shit, like, it balances it out. You're right. Like, when it's like always overcast, and summer's great.
Yeah, the summers are incredible here. Yeah, they're fire.
Incredible.
Yeah, they're fire.
And you guys should come tomorrow. What time are you picking her up?
10. Yeah, it's at night.
Damn. Oh, yeah. At night?
Yeah.
Then fucking come.
Well, she's got to work in the morning, so she might not want to. Like, she probably just wants to go home and chill or whatever.
What are you talking about?
Because she works from home.
No, you should come tomorrow morning with us to float the river.
It's possible, But
no, I'm not trying to pressure you or anything.
No,
I'm just saying, if you haven't done that yet since you've been out here,
Leavenworth. Yeah.
No, we're actually going to Fall City tomorrow.
Where's that at?
It's not as far. It's like in 45 minutes or an hour away.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. Near like the.
But it's a really cool little town, dude. They have this really awesome butcher shop, and then there's this like super old, like turn of the century, like cabin restaurant right at the corner of when you get into town.
Yeah.
But it's one of the quicker floats. We're trying to go like around 9 a.m. Okay. But we're taking 2 cars. Yeah, just so like, can you reset that camera again? Just so we can like leave one car at the drop off spot, and then leave one car where you exit.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah.
Or drop in spot. Yeah. But yeah, like that makes it worth it.
Oh yeah. The summers you have to get out, like even like in March when it starts getting nicer.
And
here,
I love hiking, but
Same.
It's a totally different animal of where you just drop in with your floaty or paddleboard or whatever fuck you're using, and you just float down the river. It's the most like.
How deep is the river?
Dude, most parts you can like touch your feet to the floor.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I was figuring. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the most tranquil, like the most fucking reset and just de-stressor. One of them that there is.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything outside, man.
Yeah,
like
sure.
you're outdoors.
Yep.
Hiking. Once you get going and get past this fucking smoker lung.
Yeah.
Once you get to the fucking top.
Yep.
Even throughout, like for me, like particularly, like once I get past this smoke lung, especially in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Like when I first start doing it, because I'm always smoking, like it takes my lungs a while to get readjusted. But past like the half an hour, the rest of the time, like I get adjusted, and get going.
Yeah.
But yeah, whether you have a lake at the top or not, you get to the top and get this view, and you're just in this fucking fresh air.
Yeah.
And everything is just fresh because you're in nature. You're in the actual wild.
I always relate it to Red Dead Redemption. Like, there's definitely places here that resemble Red Dead for sure.
I never played that one. My buddy did.
It's incredible. It's great game. But yeah, so and then I like moved here and got my place, and I'm still in the industry now and work at Edway. Obviously that's where we met, and I'd like to get back into working in an actual brewery eventually. And do some hop harvesting here since over in Yakima they harvest all the hops. Yeah. So I'd like to do that, and then. Just to have that as an experience and also have it on my resume and explore Eastern Washington a little bit. And,
have you always wanted to, like, keep with the brewing, or would you want to get into also, like, distilling shit like that?
Yeah, I want to definitely learn more about wine, too, So, like, I think just having an overall, all of that on your resume.
Just making alcohol. Don't matter.
Yeah, pretty much. I've made some mead actually off some wild berries from here, some blackberries.
Dude, I love like going to the Renaissance fairs and having the honey mead.
Yeah, I made some
fucking turkey leg, bro.
I'll have to bring you some. Yeah,
every time, bro.
Yeah. It turned out really good.
It's just worth it to go to the Ren Fair for that.
And see the fair ladies, maidens. It's a great place here, and like obviously things are so fucking expensive nowadays that sometimes life sucks with that, but obviously, crazy. But
especially if you want to like eat natural and healthy and shit. Like,
pretty much.
You gotta have money for that.
Yeah,
I don't.
No, seriously, yeah. I've learned to season ice cubes, and those will get you through tough times.
cut you here. No, the reason I was asking why you moved out this way is because you're from Baltimore. And I was going to ask you if you ever heard of Gunther and Company.
It sounds familiar. Gunther and Company.
Yeah, it's one of my previous chefs. He bought this old, I think it used to be a brewery.
Okay.
And he turned it into a restaurant.
Where is
they
it?
got like a living wall. Big ass restaurant. It's in Baltimore somewhere.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I mean, I think Baltimore has a pretty good pretty good beer scene and food scene for sure. There's specific like styles of food that
Do you like the blue crabs?
Of course. I mean, I'm from there. I have to. I would be like crucified.
You don't have to.
No,
There's plenty of
I would
people
be
that are from
I would be
here
banked.
that I've met that don't like oysters.
No, I know, but
which is weird to me.
Speaking of Baltimore, do you know the term banked?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good.
Banked?
Yeah.
I mean, I know what it means to bank, but no.
Like banked is like another, like it's almost like a euphemism for like punching somebody or fighting.
No,
like,
I don't.
or multiple people jumping you, like they
No.
got banked, like which would mean like it's all that like urbanics, I guess is the, I don't know if that's a term or if it's a proper term, but okay, oh yeah, okay, bro, what? That's right near my house. My mom's house, yeah. So I grew up.
Here.
That's Highlandtown, Patterson Park, all that. That's where I grew up. Yeah, I knew that sounded fucking familiar. That's literally I grew up on 206 South Clinton Street. Oh yeah, I definitely want to go back next time I'm there. That's dope, dude. Okay,
That's their living wall.
that's sick. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like growing up there, that neighborhood was not like that. That neighborhood was very much like hood adjacent.
Oh no, I'm sure.
The right term. Now it's like lots of Yelpies and $500,000 row houses.
I guess
and,
here's the building, and that tower too of the.
Oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. Okay, yeah, that's all right. Yeah, that's down in Canton.
You never been
there? No, I know exactly where it is though. Yeah.
Next time you're back home, go.
Yeah, that's funny because right around that neighborhood, there was this place called I don't know if we should be. What's the when it's like 20 years or whatever since a crime is passed and they can't convict you or whatever. Nobody's gonna care, but there was a spot called Bay Cafe right around the corner from there, and we would go there and break in late at night. Not even break in, like it was an outdoor like beachy kind of bar, and they just had like a big giant
Statute of limitations, yes,
exactly. And we were teenagers, and we would fucking there was just a big piece of wood that was like blocking to get into the bar, and we would just go at like 4:00 in the morning, and I shouldn't incriminate myself, but we would take me and my one of my friends.
Now,
I know my boy Herb and I. We would basically, this is how hoodlum we are. We would
I've said so many things on here.
I'm sure, yeah. I mean,
I'm done with all that. So like,
yeah, exactly, same. But
like,
so,
come on, I have nothing here.
Right. The 7 people that are listening. But
fuck you.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Oh man, you're so mean.
No, I'm just fucking with you. But we would take a trash can, like a one on wheels, basically from
fuck
like
you.
an alley. I'm just fucking with you.
A little bit, but kinda.
I'm just fucking with you. Shut up. But no, so
what a douche.
No, I'm just fucking busting your balls. Stop, motherfucker.
Okay.
But yeah, we would take a trash can and we would walk through the alleys, like, because it looks like there's just you could drop it and it's just trash in case like police rolled up or whatever, or like somebody drove it by.
What'd you have in it?
Nothing. So we would just steal one, and then we would go down to Bay Cafe, which was across Boston Street. And that was the hardest route to get across with the trash can. But we would fill it up with bottles of like everything, like Sky Vodka, Bacardi, Mike's Hard Lemonade, from that outside bar, basically. And like
no one saw you doing
no, because it was like 4:00 in the morning, and like it was like an outdoor bar. Like they had a restaurant, but it was an outdoor
weren't there
small
people
bar.
that had view of the bottles?
I mean, they
Like,
either
where are these bottles stored?
so basically, you would go like into the area, and it was like outside, and then there's the bar. It was like a kind of tiki bar setup.
Right,
kind of
I get
situation.
that, but like,
And
where you keep, like, as a business, you have to keep in mind, okay, we got to be mindful of where we keep our bottles.
well, we would
so
do
that
it.
they're not easily stealable.
Well, we would do it like once every like 5 or 6 months. Like we
Right,
would space
but,
it
like,
out, obviously.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
like I'm saying, like, as a business, when someone like keep it not easily,
You would think.
but they were like out in the open like that.
Basically, yeah. Like all you
What?
would have to do was lift open this like it was like a big wood almost like contraption, and our boy Reds, who was like
Like a chest.
kind of yeah, and like it was like blocking access to the like bar, like behind the bar, because and we would lift that up, and he would get in there and just pass us the bottles. Yeah. And we would fill up the trash can. Sometimes I would just go in there. My boy Herb and I did it a couple times, just him and I.
Fuck?
Yes. And we would go in some hood rat, Highlandtown, Southeast Baltimore shit. And we'd go in there and we'd fill up the trash can. I remember Herb and I, and we'd walk. The hardest part was getting across Boston Street because it's kind of like a 99 almost, but you know, not as less traffic, but still trafficy. And then walking through the neighborhoods, we'd walk in the alley. So if like police rolled up or something, we'd just drop the trash can and keep walking. So it looks like you're, you know, and then we get the herbs. We weren't drinkers. We were weed smokers.
It looks like you're what?
Just walking through an alley at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's
Okay.
hood rats, hoodlums.
Okay.
And, but we didn't drink. We wouldn't go back and get all fucked up. We were weed smokers. So we would like sell the booze or just have it and like occasionally get fucked up. You know what I mean? Like as teenagers, we were like, and we didn't even smoke weed because we were poor. We didn't have money to pay for weed. So we would do dumb shit like that. Or like, you know, we weren't
To
even
get weed.
Well, that, but also just because we were
Just
bored.
because you
Yes,
could,
because
yeah.
we were fucking
Yeah.
bored
Having
and
fun.
juveniles. Exactly. Yes, and like you know, and it's just you know, it was different time in your life, and you know, and you learn from it and
Yeah,
go to
of
jail
course.
for it and things like that, and you know.
Did you guys get caught?
Well, yeah, after like 3 years of doing it, basically what happened was we got greedy. We went in there one night. It was my boy Bun, who we had him anytime
Bun?
Bunn. Yeah, it's his last name. Anytime we would
Did you call him Big Bun?
yeah, well yeah, in the bed. But no, so him, myself, my boy Herb, and our friend Tor, basically, we went down there and we hit him, but we got a backpack and filled it up with like Mike's Hard Lemonade, you know, Smirnoff bullshit.
Just
you know what I
stick
mean?
with the
And stashed
trash.
it. Right. So we stashed it. We came back like 2.5 hours later, got greedy with a trash can, filled that up. There was all this noise and commotion, and then like police rolled up. Our friend Tor dropped the trash can around that if you know where the restaurant is, there's like a pool and
A pool?
like there's like a condo and there's like a pool area right there, like a you know private pool, and he drops it right there and runs, and it's one cop, and he gets out and like you know, I mean, my friend Charles we're teenagers and like whatever, we all got sat down, the police came, they arrested us. They ended up trying to charge us for like it was like breaking and entering 4th degree, like trespassing basically. They didn't charge us with anything to do with booze, basically. They took that trash can of booze and fucking like the police took it basically, you know. And
Baltimore City cops.
yes, of course. Yeah, exactly. Surprise. And yeah, and I mean nothing ever came of it. We were teenagers, like we didn't get fucking charged or anything. And
So you didn't get arrested?
we did get arrested. We got arrested. We got took down to Southeast Station, and then fucking.
But they didn't put you in the system?
We were never like charged. It was all dropped. We were fucking teenagers. You know what I mean? I was like 16 or something.
Yeah.
And but yeah, but I've been locked up for weed multiple times. Like when weed was illegal.
So
still,
stupid.
yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing anyone any harm.
No, of course not.
And
Never.
you're gonna get locked up for some fucking something that just comes naturally from the earth.
Yeah, and now what's crazy is they make so much money off of it. Like it's fully recreational in Maryland, and the tax is like 12% on it. Like these same people that were making money off arresting you for it are now making money off of selling it to you, basically. You know, but they did like expunge everyone's records and everything. So like you know, which is like a step in like progression towards like legalization and so forth.
But it's so stupid that
No,
it's
I
like
agree.
still federally illegal.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
why?
Yeah.
Most of the states have made it, if not recreationally, medically, and now like we still have this like it's still like a wall that we gotta try to push.
Yeah.
And try to knock down, and every fucking sledgehammer you hit, the stronger the wall gets. Like, fuck.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So, what do you think? Like, what's your next step in the restaurant industry? Would you like to own something one day, or like just like fully run something, or what's your?
Well, before we get into that, I wanted to ask you if you like. I was asking if you like crabs because I wanted to see if you ever been to Cantlers.
No, I don't think so.
It's a crab house. Well then, never mind.
Okay.
No, yeah, of course. That's always been my dream is to, and obviously, like I haven't gotten there yet because I've spent most of my life fucking partying and fucking around.
I hear you.
Since I moved here, I kind of started turning and trying to get more disciplined.
Yeah.
And obviously, I haven't gotten close to disciplined enough because I'm still drinking while recording. Like, but I've taken steps in the right direction, and I'm still exercising and working out. And
yeah, it's all balance.
Trying to get there. But yeah, obviously, I want to have just. Doesn't matter. I'd prefer it not to be a food truck, but wherever I can start.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people
I'll eventually build my empire through correct technique, natural food, good quality product.
Yeah.
You got dope shit.
Yeah.
It's kind
aesthetics. Yeah, like a lot of that comes into play, and like, I mean, if anyone is a fan of Kitchen Nightmares, which I love, if we're talking about restaurant shows, like
I love all of fucking
Gordon Ramsay's
shows.
He's the greatest.
He's a fucking genius.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a man of fucking supreme discipline right there.
Yeah, he's a great dude. They show his ass a lot in Hotel Hell.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one.
I don't know
I've
why
seen all the other ones.
Went right to that.
Way to go!
It's my first memories. Bare ass, bare British ass, or whatever it is.
Bear?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, like BARE, not BEAR.
Yeah.
Like your bare ass.
Why is he bare?
I mean, his clothes are off, so he's like bearing all. I guess I don't know.
Why is Gordon Ramsay not with clothes and
well, it'll be like a scene of him like getting in the shower, and they will literally show his ass. Yeah, it's like a highlight. I think it's like a meme. They do it in like every episode.
Okay, so it's like a thing where he like goes and uses all the hotel shit.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Like I said, I've never seen.
Okay, yeah, it's basically Kitchen Nightmares for Hotel Hell.
So I guess I should take back my comment that I love all of his shit. I haven't seen all of his shit.
Yeah, it's not as good as the OG Kitchen Nightmares. The OG Kitchen Nightmares is fantastic.
There's a new one too.
Yeah,
They read like that keeps going.
There's they did Cafe Han.
Hell's Kitchen too. His Master Chef ones that's dope.
Yeah, he's doing the Secret Service shit. He did one in Frederick actually recently. Yeah, my girlfriend was telling me about it.
What's that? Secret Service shit.
It's basically where it's like Kitchen Nightmares, but he goes and like he's in like a truck and he like has like an informant and it's like a worker at the restaurant and it's like run shitty and they let him in like at night.
What is it?
It's called Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service. And
I've seen that one. You're talking about like the tractor trailer that has a full kitchen on it.
Yes.
And then they
I don't know about a full kitchen.
Yeah.
It's like what do you call it?
Yeah,
like,
dude, they unfold it.
Cameras and stuff or like monitors and stuff.
Okay, we're not thinking of the same one because like there's this one that he does where it's a tractor trailer and they unfold the sides of the trailer and it's like a whole full kitchen.
I think you're talking about 24 Hours to Hell.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm a nerd for the Ramsay shit. I'm a mark. Yeah. So yeah, he's incredible. It's a very quotable show, and the restaurant industry is a very fun, wild place to work in for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. Is I want to have my own little spot, and my goal is to just get that. And I know once I get the one, I can. Pretty confident I can become bigger than Chipotle.
Okay. Oh wow.
And that's my end goal.
Okay.
But yeah, just bring a little bit of Georgian flavor to America.
Okay. And what is Georgian flavor exactly? Like, what do you?
We have a lot of influence from many cuisines. Georgia has been a part of many, many, many empires, including its own. Back in when it was founded, we had our own empire. King Bagrat. And then we continued that empire with fucking... She was so strong and revered, they actually called her King Tamara, not Queen Tamara.
Oh, wow.
But so we've had influences from Mongol cuisine, Turkish cuisine,
Mongolian,
and Persian cuisine.
Okay.
Because we've been under those empires.
Yeah.
The Mongolian Empire, Ottoman Empire, Persian Empire. But yeah, we use a lot of spices, a lot of fresh herbs. You will have a spread, and most Georgian dinner spreads will include a lot of fresh, like you'll have like whole fresh radishes on the table and whole fresh herbs, and we snack on things like roast pork, roast chicken, roasted eggplant rolled up into these like with like a aioli and garlic. And with everything, we take a little bite of herbs, a little bite of like fresh radish, fresh fucking peppers, and always with some really nice bread.
Okay.
I can't really explain to you what it's like trying to explain being at the top of a mountain to someone.
Yeah.
You can't. You can take a picture, and I could show you pictures of this bread, but until you eat it, you can't experience it, because over here, most of the bread is like, even if you make it from your own starter, these grains that we're using here, they're so fucked with genetically that it still like weighs you down, makes you feel heavy.
Yeah.
You try bread back home, it doesn't do that.
Nice.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Georgian table spread is called supra.
Okay.
And there's been actually a bunch of Georgian restaurants named that. But yeah, we have soup dumplings, we have shashlik, which is Russian term, but in Georgian it's called mtsadi, which is like marinated meat, whether it's beef or lamb, goat, pork.
Oh wow, damn.
And then skewered up with like onions,
Nice,
pomegranate as the like marinade seasoning.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Fresh pepper, vinegar.
Yeah.
We got stews, but yeah, our most famous thing would be probably the soup dumplings or cheese bread, which is called khachapuri, which is pretty much just cheese and bread.
Okay.
So like baked. The most famous one is like, looks like a boat. There's a place down in right by the aquarium called Skalka.
Okay.
That does these and it's nothing like we do back home, but it's the closest you're gonna find in this area, unless I do one for you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which I would love.
But then we also have like stuff close to like gyros. And we also have our own version of shawarma, which is kind of backwards. We call it shawarma.
Okay.
And that's what I want to bring here.
Yeah. Would you do it on kind of like a
So I would do like inspiration being Chipotle to where it's like an assembly line.
Yeah.
And super fresh thin lavage. I got a whole. I just need the startup. Once I get that,
yeah, I mean it's not a
locked
bad idea.
in.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad idea, and that's possible. You know,
It doesn't matter what it is, man. As long as it's delicious, whether it's fucking Ethiopian, Filipino, fucking Mongolian.
Yeah.
If it's delicious and everyone loves it, and you take your heart and you put it in there, and you set standards, you don't cut corners, you don't compromise on your ingredients.
Yeah, exactly.
You use the fresh food. You work with local farmers, local fucking pastures.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind owning like a small bar back home in Baltimore. Just like, I mean, my boy Finn and I have like talked about it. I mean, obviously it takes some money and some backing and all of that. But like, I would say like,
What would you want? Would you want like a dive bar or?
like kind of a clean dive bar, that does like really good cocktails and like has like
Not
beers on
grimy,
draft.
like
Yes,
clean.
exactly,
Dive.
yeah.
It's still a dive bar.
Yeah.
But it's like super proper and clean.
Kind
and,
of almost feel like you're going into a basement, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like clean, and like and I mean obviously the ideas of what would work and what wouldn't would come along, with the space and
trial and error.
Exactly, yeah. But I think it would have a good character, especially with like good cocktails, and like I would only really want to be open like 4 days a week, not from like being lazy.
Like some fucking fire mac and cheese.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Food,
yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Fish and
Yeah.
chips
Yeah.
done right.
Exactly. Yeah. Like an upscale, small little menu, and just be open, not like limited hours, but like not super late. And I wouldn't want it in the hood per se, but I would want it kind of like close to where like Full Tilt was, kind of in the like hood adjacent areas where it's like still fairly priced and it's like getting gentrified,
accessible to everyone.
Yes, exactly. And you have like people who like might work for John Hopkins,
but I feel like it don't matter the location. Like, I've heard of some of the best restaurants coming up in the Maryland area that were in the areas. I mean, some of them even in Southeast DC.
Yeah.
Like.
Yep. Well, I mean, like you said,
matter,
location sometimes doesn't matter. Sometimes it does, but like
you got the proper shit, you got the good shit.
Yeah.
People come to you.
If you definitely build it, people will come. But at the same time, like I've definitely worked for places that like were in a prime location, but like it just it didn't
there's
fit.
No
it
heart
didn't
in
fit.
there.
Yeah. Or that, or like a brewery I worked for here, actually, like I was saying, down in South Seattle. Like it was in such an area that was like an industrial nowhere kind of area, like that, like it was very inaccessible and like out of the way.
Okay, well, yeah.
So
fine.
There's
certain areas that you don't want to be in a
spot where it's like way out of the way.
Industrial area,
but it's cheap.
Like
I mean, like you gotta look at that way.
But like you got I guess location does matter a lot if you get the prime location. Sure. It's going to be way easier in a prime location.
Sure.
Than a more out of the way location.
Yeah.
But if at least there's a few or one or two restaurants or breweries in that area, you can't just go fucking bumfuck nowhere.
Yeah.
But then there's the French Laundry. What's around the French Laundry? I mean, maybe now there's a bunch of shit. But when he first opened over there, there's nothing else.
Yeah. Which could also be a good idea, because if you're in a situation like, hey, in a year, and that's what a lot of businesses probably do, is like within a year, 2 years, X amount of time, you're going to have these like housing development, you're going to have these apartments, you're going to have these other businesses that are around.
If it's an up and coming.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So
that's different. That's like you already know the prediction.
Right. That's true. Yeah. But
like you already know what's coming, so it's not really like taking a chance. It's more like, okay, if we wait it out, it's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you said, I mean, if it's consistency and you have something that people want, like there was breweries in like Hamden or like in that area in Baltimore that were tucked away that were like kind of destinations, like in a way Full Tilt was, because it wasn't
exactly
in like, you know, it wasn't in it was right near a really good area and good neighborhood, and like where there's a shopping center that was like,
not too far.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then you had the colleges, Towson and Loyola and things like that, so you had that crowd, and like you know, and like, I mean, their location worked, you know, to an extent, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like it's definitely something that I would definitely consider. And like if it's like good rent and like good location and just a couple of days a week, to where it's like, okay, we're not trying to, you know, retire from just doing this. Like this is kind of a labor of love. It's like okay, we make pretty decent money and like we pay our bills, and that's really.
But why not? Like you should also be able to retire off of it.
No, I agree. I agree.
That labor of love, you should be able to get it to that amount of business to where you're even shipping your shit out and you're distributing it to grow as big as you want.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. And I think that's like a, you know, I don't want to set my expectations too high, and I don't want to say it's like a lazy thing, or like, oh, I would just like to have a bar, you know what I mean? Like I would want it to be successful.
But I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't constrict yourself.
That's true. No, I agree. I agree with that.
Oh yeah, it's never gonna be something I can retire off of.
That's
I'm
true.
Die doing this, which you should probably also do, because more and more I'm alive, more and more I hear of the day. Like my coworker, who has passed. He was awesome, fucking Derek. He worked at the HVAC company with me, and on the days off, he fucking hustled at the fucking Redskins stadium, yo.
Oh wow, yeah.
And he sold, like, he was one of the guys that sold the beer.
Yeah.
And such a kind soul, best fucking dude. But I forget where I was going with. Oh no, he was telling me. Or no, maybe it was Miss Donna, and she was awesome too. But either one, one of them had told me that their friend had just retired, and then the day after they passed away.
Oh wow, Jesus!
And more I'm alive, more and more I hear shit like that. Yeah. That these are the people that like almost like they never called out, they never took days off. Yeah. They loved what they did. And I feel like you gotta, all the way till the end, we gotta have this purpose. And I'm not saying once you retire you can't have a purpose. I'm just saying, like, having a thing to do that's like a labor thing.
Yeah.
That's what keeps you.
You're absolutely
mobile.
Right. Yes.
That's what keeps you physically able.
Yes. Yeah.
Having a thing to do, which is like a labor thing.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But I'm sure there's plenty of people out there where they've retired and they've stayed perfectly healthy and.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but like you said, as long as you keep active and you find something. I mean, that's what a lot of episodes of Kitchen Nightmare is. Basically, you know, somebody retires and they're like, I want to open up a restaurant because I'm bored, basically. Yeah. And you either...
And that almost never works out.
Exactly. Especially you've never been in the industry, no.
Unless they're, like, opening the restaurant after they retire because they've always wanted a restaurant and they've always had a passion for that.
Yeah.
Then it works out. And a lot of those kitchen nightmares in this instance happens because the team around them is sabotaging.
Yes, that's literally yes.
Is
exactly.
sabotaging
yes.
the
fucking shit up. That's what it's doing. No, but I definitely
the fucking God damn it, my brain.
I definitely get what you're saying. No, I mean like shit rolls downhill and like sabotaging something from within because that's what it's basically like.
They're fucking up the whole thing.
Yeah, if you got weak
because I
legs,
can't find the term in the brain.
You're gonna crumble. You know what I mean? Your staff are a huge part of what how your business is run. You can't be everywhere at all one time. You know what I mean?
And a lot of those times, those are the kitchen nightmare episodes that end up being successful because they take what he tells them and they're the owner.
Yeah.
And they implement that into the business, and he because a lot of the times you don't have this experience that we have coming up in the business.
Yeah.
And they have none of that, so they don't know, they're very gullible and inexperienced in these aspects of the business. So even though they're doing their best, they don't know how exactly to navigate. This is how the prep should be going.
Yeah.
And this is how the fridge should look.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is how
the book should be ran.
This is how busy all the servers should be staying.
Yeah, yeah.
And they don't know that it's not okay for the hostess to just be standing around waiting for the guests to come in and to be wiping down menus or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That kind of shit.
No, exactly. Yeah. And like you said, that's what happens a lot of times. But I think when you have people that have worked in the industry that have seen what works and what doesn't, and they obviously, you could work behind the line, you could become a great executive chef or like the best bartender in the world, but that doesn't mean you're going to run a business well. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
But if you have the right people around you and you kind of put your chess pieces in the right places to where you're like, okay, like you don't set yourself up to fail.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you obviously have better chances at surviving. And everything else plays an effect into it. How your product is, your quality, or your drinks, your staff, your service, like all of that comes into effect. And like I said earlier, it's creating that experience. So like as long as you got like really good cocktails and good food, and then it's like a good environment, and it's
you got to have that service too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that all plays effect into the experience. And sometimes you could go to a place like you said that has shitty food but good service, and like you might enjoy the bartenders or like the servers or the staff or like the place, the ambiance.
I don't know. For me, food is a big part.
Sure.
If you got shitty food,
shitty as in like what's the classification of shitty? Like inedible or just like bland or like meh? Like like Max's. Not to shit on them. They used to have shitty food.
Okay, for me,
great beer.
Shitty is you eat the meal and you're like anything less than that was good.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, but some places,
you know what I mean?
Their standard might not be their food. It might be their cocktails. It might be their beer selection. It might be their location. And like that. I agree. I'm not saying that that's good.
You gotta be able to enjoy what you eat.
Agreed.
And I feel like no matter the cocktail is never gonna, like, if you're drinking alcohol, you're not gonna be like, oh, this was a terrible cocktail, unless they're really terrible.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But with food, that's something you're eating.
Yeah, you're right.
With alcohol, it's something you're drinking. You're getting, like, you're enjoying it, but you're drinking to go with your food.
Yeah. Well, you also can't I'm not saying you can't get sick from booze because obviously you can, but like
No,
you can
there's
get
definitely
sick
shitty
from,
cocktails
sure,
out
of course,
there.
but you can get violently ill and sick from shitty food, basically, like being undercooked or being cross contaminated or anything. You know what I mean? Like mishandled in any kind of way. You know. So that risk is, but back to the like quality of food. Like, what are your expectations for this particular place? Like, if you're just going to a place that's known for like its beer and the location and not the food, you don't have an expectation of like, I'm gonna walk out super satisfied.
Yeah, if you're going to like a dive bar, you're not gonna expect the
sure.
But
there are dive bars that have great food.
But
though.
if it is like, oh my god, that was good.
Yes.
You're 10 times more likely to come back.
You're absolutely right.
Rather than
yep.
Oh, I went there. I ordered something that they make in a toaster oven, and
Chef Mike.
That shit was fucking terrible. Versus something that they make in a toaster oven, and oh my god, that was pretty fucking good.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Just because you have like equipment shortage doesn't mean you can't still make dank shit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, people on food trucks, for an example, you got a small
but food
space,
truck, you can have a fucking burner, you can have a fryer, you can have a flat top.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like some food trucks have fucking better kitchens than some restaurants.
That's true. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
But I mean, there's so many different variables. But I feel like going back to what you were saying about these people that retire that choose to open up restaurants, those of them that have that passion of I've always wanted to have this, like I've always had this in the back of my mind of opening a restaurant, and I've always wanted this. A lot of the times the pivot and the road to fixing the problems is getting rid of certain employees and hiring the correct ones.
Yes, literally, yeah.
Getting the proper team, or facing them with, oh, we're gonna start doing things differently.
Yeah.
And we expect this. Are you up to the task? And sometimes that employee will step up to the plate, and sometimes they'll throw in the towel and be like, fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
I want this comfort level. I don't want anything else.
Yeah.
I've been used to this. I'm gonna go find another restaurant to take advantage of.
Which makes for great TV too. So that's why we Kitchen Nightmares, because that's
part
of the drama.
That's pretty much how it is, right?
Yeah, no, it
but
is.
It's true. That's why it works.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I feel like it's been a good little chat.
Yeah, dude, this was fun. Yeah,
you gotta bring your stickers next time.
Yes, yeah, I'll bring a couple of the beers that we can try and talk about.
Oh, you still got some beers?
Yes, yeah,
what?
I still have some. Yeah, I'll bring some. Like I said, the only reason I didn't because I thought there was like
pretty
I thought
much
you were
when
just
you
not
drove
drinking.
out of here, you've had your car filled with beers.
So I basically before we canned it and did everything 420. Basically, and I left in June, so like I brought probably about a case with me, and like gave it to like different places along the way during interviews and things like that, or like bartenders and people I hung out with a bunch of friends along the way, like my friend Amanda in Montana, I gave her some. My friend Amanda in California gave her some. My boy in Michigan gave him some. Like, so I distributed them, and I had probably like 6 or 7 left, and then once I got my place, I drank one. And then like for celebration, and then drank one with my boy. So I have I think I have 2 Namaste Joes left, and like maybe 2 Man Bun Joes. But I have a bunch of the other ones, like the sours, like Skittles, and like they're probably a little like.
I'm very curious to try a fucking candy.
Yes, I'll bring them. Yes, they're
so
awesome.
Wrong.
Yeah, I mean it is in a lot of ways, but they
no wrong in terms
awesome.
of like the level of sweetness I'm used to from candy.
They're liquid sugar. Yeah, basically, But the Namaste Joe still holds up, and I think the Man Bun Joe still holds up. I'll bring a black light, and I can show you how it glows in the dark. Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Let's do it.
Your piss will be neon green.
Yeah, we'll record that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, shit, Joe.
Well, yeah.
It was a fucking pleasure, man.
Yeah, that was dope, bro.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I told you, once you get going, you kind of just flows.
Yeah, basically.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And until next time.
Yeah, namaste.
Joe, you come back for sure.
Yes, part 2.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you do us the honors there?
Lord, I wanna be manipulated, mind controlling, inundated. I will seek the revelation, make my life a celebration. I wanna be the change I'm seeking, manifest the words I'm speaking. I refuse to be imprisoned. I will make my own decisions. Man, permanent